No Cap Podcast, episode 200. Run it. What is up, everybody? What y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling this evening? I'm feeling great. I am feeling amazing, actually. Oh, man. Where do we begin? You know what? I'm going to begin with something that I have been against since its fucking inception, and it has not paid any dividends or anything like that. It's just like a terrible fucking decision, right? Terrible decision. By the way, let me start off by saying, Anonymous Boss, I appreciate you, big dog. He say, my brother, you can really rap. I'm dead serious. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate it, brother. But yeah, I'm gonna start with this because, again, like I said, I think that this is just like, fuck, dog. It's like, can you do anything right is the real question. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about what is going on with Bungie. What is going on with Bungie? Let me tell you something. Of all of the acquisitions that have taken place, with all of the studio creations that have taken place, because you know they created the studio with Jason, whatever the fuck his name is, from the Call of Duty guy, the one that was with what was that other studio? The Defiant? No, the something, whatever the fuck that studio was. Anyway. They created that studio. They created this studio called LFG, which just the name alone got me like, get the fuck out of here, right? But the acquisition of Bungie, I always looked at sideways because I didn't really see the benefits of it at all. I was just like, why are you buying Bungie? Bungie literally only has one IP to offer, and that is the Destiny IP. And it seems like ever since that acquisition, that kinda has been like on a like a steep downfall. But regardless of it, right? Like, I just thought it was a stupid acquisition. I thought it didn't make a lot of fucking sense to me, anyway. But I guess with Microsoft in the process of trying to acquire ABK at the time, I guess they figured that the next best thing would be to do something, and that something was Bungie. And I just don't know what has come out of this Bungie thing. You know, it sounded real good when they started talking about it in the beginning, right? They were like, yeah, you know, we bring in Bungie. Bungie helps us with our multiplayer and live service games. And then I think about it, and what the fuck has come out since then, except for Concord, which, well, we all know how Concord ended, right? But under the tutelage and guidance of of Bungie, we have not reaped any of the benefits. As PlayStation gamers, we haven't reaped a single fucking benefit of this. And then now they got some rumored gummy bear game out there, which I'm just like, dog, who the fuck? But then again, I try to be a little bit positive and instead of, you know, judging them before we ever see what releases. But to be honest, dog, I didn't want to play as a jelly bean when it came to Fallout. I don't want to play as a gummy bear from anybody, right? Like, I just don't give a damn about playing as a gummy bear. And if it is anything like I don't know, I don't even know what the fuck to think about it, man. But either way, not really hyped on it. Maybe that'll change when, you know, when they actually get around to releasing something. But god damn it, bro. Apparently they were part of the reasons why factions got canceled or put on hold or whatever the fuck they're doing with whatever they created for all those years. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't really see the benefits of a Bungie. I mean, maybe you guys do, and that's fine, but I don't see the benefits of a Bungie. But I am going to say this. I have been biased since the beginning because I never cared for Bungie as a studio. I don't care about the games that they make. The only thing I've seen from them is first person shit. Like, I don't really care about first person shit like that. So, you know, for the people that do, shout out to y'all, but nah, I think I'm cool, bruh. Well, in the latest round of good news from Bungie, right? The latest round of good news, apparently, they ended up stealing some artists' artwork, which I'm not gonna even pretend to care about this portion of it, right? But I'm just like, dog, is there anything right that you guys are doing over there? But is there anything that's going right with the leadership that's over Bungie? And do I think Sony should take over Bungie? For what? For what, nigga? I think Sony should get a fucking refund, nigga. They should try to get their money back is what the fuck they should do. Because again, I ain't seeing it. I don't know what the fuck y'all seeing, but I ain't seeing shit when it comes to fucking Bungie, nigga. The only thing Bungie lives and die on is the fact that they created Halo, nigga. Like, that's their swan song, nigga. Like, the fuck is we talking about, man? Come on, man. Like, it was fans of fucking Bungie who bought into fucking Destiny who were hoping and praying they would do something else like fucking Halo, nigga. Like, the fuck? And I would be I would be a hypocrite to sit up here and say that I give a fuck about that, because I don't care about Halo, nigga. Halo is a game that I did give a fair shot. I did give her fair play. And it just didn't gel with me the way that it gelled with other people. And I think that's fine. But Bungie as a whole, nigga, like, I spent a lot of time playing Destiny, but that was because my homeboy was playing that shit and it was just kind of something to do, right? But outside of that, bro, Bungie is just like a waste of fucking time, a waste of office space, a waste of fucking money, and fucking problems and headaches for I mean, now when you see the fact that they were looking to be acquired, right? It makes all the sense in the world because they constantly doing stupid shit. They are constant. Come on, how do you on accident steal somebody's shit? Like, like, come on, dog. That shit wasn't no goddamn accident, nigga. Y'all niggas thought that person wasn't ever gonna complain or ever gonna say something or ever gonna notice what the fuck was going on. But that person had a trick for you niggas because they were putting stuff within their artwork that may, you know, it referenced other people that they've worked with. You know what I'm saying? So they proved without a shadow of a doubt that Bungie were using their shit without their permission, aka stealing their fucking assets to create a game that is just, man, I hate to say it, it's just not gonna be that game. It's just not gonna be that fucking game, man. It's not, man. It's just not. It's not going to find this crazy fucking audience out there. That shit is gonna come out in about 6 months, and that shit is gonna be gone in about 8 months, maybe 9 months, nigga. They gonna hurry up and move on to the next fucking project, dog. It is what it is. Pay that fucking artist, man. Compensate that artist. Something, you know what I'm saying? It's weird that you thought that their work wasn't good enough to hire them, but it was good enough for you to steal and put in a game that you're now going to be releasing in a few months, right? Like, man, fuck Bungie, dog. I don't care how none of y'all niggas feel. With me, nigga, it is up and it is fucking stuck. Fuck Bungie, nigga. Like, fuck Bungie, nigga. And I don't care who in the chat is gonna try and rationalize this shit. By whatever way you're going to try and rationalize this shit. Oh, she was an employee of Bungie. Well, nigga, she wasn't an employee after the fact. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want her for her talents, nigga, but they wanted her shit. And that's what the fuck they did. And that's some bullshit. And again, it's fucked up because Sony got to get this secondhand bullshit because of this stupid ass team of fucking people that they fucking purchased, which they should have never fucking purchased. They should have left them niggas on the goddamn line and let somebody else fucking pick them up and back them. Tencent, maybe they could have sat there and wasted fucking money. Or better yet, go back to fucking Microsoft, nigga, or something. Like, the fuck? Like, fuck that, nigga. Like, I'm cool on that. Again, do I think this situation is overblown? Absolutely, 1000%. I think it's absolutely 1000% overblown, and I find it funny that it's overblown in a week where it was stated that 89 million accounts were compromised by fucking on fucking Steam. Again, they tried to clean that up and say it was nothing but a leaked text SMS message or something like that. Then they turned around and said that it was something with Twilo or whatever the fuck that company name is. I'm like, dog, y'all shit is out there on the dark web, nigga. It don't matter how the fuck it got there, and nigga, your shit is compromised, nigga. They also put out things telling y'all to change y'all fucking passwords. If no accounts was compromised, then why change your password? Why change your password, nigga? Go ahead and fuck raw, nigga. Like, yeah, you good. Ain't nothing happened. Steam ain't get compromised. But I find it funny that news was overshadowed by this news, which I think is stupid as fuck. And I think it was, again, I'm siding with the artist on this. And I'm siding with the artist on this not because I have a disdain for Bungie, but I feel like if a person created some work, they should be compensated for that work. And I think it's stupid that it took Bungie this much time to fucking get this shit straightened out, get this shit in order. You know what I'm saying? Or what? Just to kind of think outside the box. What if? And this is just far-fetched as fuck. This is just a tinfoil hat theory, so do not take it serious. But what if? What if it's meant for, or what if internally Bungie employees are trying to sabotage Bungie? Purposely sabotage Bungie. What if that is the case? I can see several scenarios where that would be the case, and I can see several scenarios where they would want to do exactly what the fuck is going on here now, because there's no way that mistakes like this is being made with Bungie. And this is not the first time that Bungie has been, accused of stealing some shit or using things without permission. Does it make a difference? Is stealing different than using without permission? Is that really different? Because if I leave my keys in my car and leave my car running, somebody jumps in my fucking car and takes the fuck off, they're using it without my permission. In my mind, they just stole my shit. Even if they were to bring it back, they still stole it. So when you say used without permission, I say steal. Because, nigga, that's exactly what the fuck they did. They had absolutely no intent on compensating whoever that artist was for the work that they did. So it's stealing. They are some thieves. They are some fucking thieves. And I think everybody keeps saying, and I would love to know why. Why are y'all saying that Sony should take over Bungie, as if Sony taking over Bungie is going to equate to Bungie being in a better position because they are now running the situation? What the fuck do you think that Sony can do better than what Bungie is already fucking doing? What do you think they're going to change? They still got the same employees. They still got the same people working at Bungie. The people are still the same. The people who are actually in charge of the studio would still be the same. So what the fuck would they do to make this company any better than what the fuck it is? Because right now it's shit. It's shit. It's shit. Them niggas have been owned by PlayStation for what, about 3 years maybe now? 3 or 4 years now? And what the fuck have they produced? What have they produced? They have only hindered Sony thus far. in pretty much every fucking thing. And y'all think that Sony taking the helm, Sony actually taking over the leadership, that they're gonna fix this? What up, Jemiah? I will have to say that's a fuck no, and get Bungie the fuck out of here, dog. That's how I 1000% feel. I've felt this way ever since the beginning. I never ever thought that this Bungie purchase was a good purchase. You have never heard me say that, well, this is a good idea by Sony. Nope, I thought it was a bad idea since its inception. The fuck? Did you hear about this shit, Jemiah, with the artist?
Also in the chat, Corey Massey, the person who got the art stolen was not a former employee of Bungie.
I think they did work. I think they did work for Bungie.
Employee that worked for Bungie used the stolen.
Oh, they the one that used it. Yeah.
Like,
You're right.
Are not a part of Bungie,
which makes it even worse.
Company, yeah. Doesn't mean they can steal everything you own or everything you make. Like,
well, technically, there are clauses, because I had to sign some shit like that too. When I started working for this place, there was like any intellectual property that's created while employed with Hotwire belongs to them, basically. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm cool, nigga.
That makes sense. So like, if you work for Marvel, cool. But if you do some shit on your own free time, they can just come into your house and just start picking up sketchbooks and be like, "This shit's ours." Like, that's not how that works.
Well, nah, that's not how it works. If it was created, if it was created using company equipment, then that's the difference. They if they signed that clause in their contract when they got the job that they got, then that would be it. That would legally protect them. But in this instance, I don't think that that's the case, because the person was like, yo, she couldn't even get an email back from them niggas, and yet they used her shit for everything.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, it would have been cheaper just to pay this random third party independent person, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. But the thing is, can you name, since you've known about this Bungie acquisition, right? Can you name one good thing that has come from this Bungie acquisition? Anything?
Not one thing. They canceled the fucking Last of Us multiplayer game, which was
that's rumor. I don't want to put that out there like that's a fact. I'm putting that out there like that's rumor. I don't think that has ever been corroborated by anybody from Bungie. That's just what people have said, because Sony said that they got Bungie for their expertise when it comes to multiplayer, and people just assumed that's what the fuck is happening.
Yo, what up?
Who that is?
It's Corey.
Oh, what's up, nigga? You sounded different, nigga. What you using a different mic or some shit?
A little bit.
Yeah, but like, okay, so what they said was, well, from your sheet has said that Bungie talked to Naughty Dog, and then Naughty Dog, based on their conversation with Bungie, canceled the game. So it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, do we know that conversation is what led to the cancellation, though? I mean, I don't know if I could blame them for that. I don't like Bungie as a company, but I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what the article in Forbes says. Like, Bungie talked to Naughty Dog, and basically they're telling Naughty Dog, you're gonna have to basically become a company that's
You want me to tell you my biggest problem with this, though? I'm going to tell you what my biggest problem with this is, and it ain't even with Bungie. It ain't even with the scenario. You want to know what my biggest problem with the scenario is? My biggest problem with this scenario is how everybody who was talking about how Marathon was trash is so interested in assets and artwork from Marathon.
Because it's to find something to hate Sony about. At this point, I get it. A lot of y'all don't like multiplayer. A lot of y'all
wait. Hold on, Corey. Let me ask you this question real quick, because I know you about to go on a tirade, but let me ask you this question real quick. What good has come from this Bungie acquisition? I want to hear from your mouth what you believe is good that came from this.
So I would quote I'm gonna go to what Jemiah mentioned. If it is true that they had a conversation with Naughty Dog, I would say it's probably a very good thing that they spoke to Naughty Dog in truth about what it takes to be a live service developer. That you're not just gonna get to put out some random content every 6 months, because that'll get your shit anthemed. People will be like, okay, there ain't enough content. 6 weeks into the game, there ain't enough content. People are gonna be like, okay, this game's ass. There's no content after at the end game, and it'll be just like Anthem. A bunch of people liked it at the beginning. Everybody said that it didn't have enough content, and Anthem died. That would
Nah, Anthem was dead long before the end of the content, because we were waiting on content before they never put it out, nigga.
That's my point. That's my point.
That's like saying like, but like look at Fortnite. Fortnite has new shit every fucking weekend. They have a new thing, a new season, a new whatever. So like it could be done.
That's my point, Jemiah. A lot of these single player developers, they're used to being able to, if they're gonna put out DLC 3-6 months after the game release. If you're gonna put out DLC in a live service environment, you gotta keep that content coming. You don't get to just okay, I'm gonna take
time out though. Like right, so Sony acquired Bungie, right? And they had Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog could have made the game. They could have broke off people from Bungie and had them continue making content for the game. Like they didn't have to cancel the whole entire game, waste 4 years of development costs and resources and assets. She just said the game was great.
No one wants to just turn their work over to someone else. If I'm gonna make some shit, I'm not gonna just turn it over to you so you can get all the credit.
Well, now we're entering the realm of what you believe that they would feel. That's kind of out of the scope of what we're going for.
You work for Sony, like even though you have your own individual studio.
He's saying they should have. He's saying they should have made some shit and then just turned it over to someone else. And I'm saying, if I'm the creative, if I'm the person who has the creative vision of this project, But
isn't that what's happening when? Isn't that what's happening when games are being ported to PC? That's exactly what's happening. They're handing that shit over to Nexus to, I guess, make changes, do whatever, get it to work on the PC environment.
Nexus is not making any changes to these games. Sick. I've been arguing with you with this shit about PC since the beginning of the PC ports.
No, they are. They are making changes.
Check it out, Corey.
What changes exist on the PC? Ultra wide support?
Yes, they're still fundamentally getting all of the assets, all of the creation to make it work on this other device. I agree with Jemiah with the Last of Us shit, where if the game was working, Shuhei Yoshida himself said that the shit was in good fucking condition and stuff like that.
I'm not saying that it wasn't.
So no. But I'm saying, why not delegate that responsibility to another team?
And this
I'm talking about maintaining content. I'm not talking about the creation of said IP. They've already created it. I'm just talking about maintaining.
I'm not talking about, it's sick. Every time you add new content to the game, you have to create that new content. You can't just maintain the content. You have to create new and better content.
But the assets are already there. And if they need to create other things like cosmetic shit and all of this other stuff that you can pay for.
That's not content that people are gonna come back to play. People don't come back to Destiny. People don't come back to Destiny to get new skins. They come back to
wait. Let him finish. Let him finish, Jemiah. Let him finish, Jemiah.
They come back to Destiny to play the new content. They come back to Destiny to play the new raid. They come back to Destiny to see what new enemies are there.
So why can't that responsibility be delegated out to another team, since they don't want to dedicate that to their teams? They don't want to put any separate teams on creating said content. Why not get somebody else involved and just have somebody from Naughty Dog oversee it?
Because if I am the creative of this entity, why would I create something to then turn it over to you so you can get credit?
Why create something to never ever use it?
The thing is we don't know if they're never going to use it. We just know that they're not using it now.
So
that's all this means.
How about this? Who's gonna finish the Naughty Dog? Because they're busy doing Intergalactic. Who's gonna finish the
They
game?
don't.
Nobody is.
Again,
Because
the mechanics of the mechanics of the Last of Us factions. We don't know how those mechanics work, so we don't know if those mechanics will ever be seen again. We just know that they had a game and it was in playable state, and then they canceled it. We don't know if those mechanics are going to come back in Intergalactic, because they can.
So
like
here's the
like
thing.
come on,
Here's the
say, real
thing.
quick. How many times do studios, the Sony cancel studios and tell those people who work there go work on this other game? Sony owns the studios. It's not your work. Fucking Neil Druckmann. He could be going tomorrow and Naughty Dog will still go on. Sony owns Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog doesn't own themselves. So when they get shut down because their games aren't making money, those devs are going to go to different studios and different projects. So
And they're
it
not
doesn't
gonna-
matter.
and they're not gonna make-
That's why Sony has an ICE team. Sony literally sends other people from other studios to help other people. So it's like,
I
it's
get the
everybody's
point that
fair
he's
aspect.
making, Corey, and he's making a very valid point, but I agree with him to an extent, but I also agree with you to an extent, only because I get what you're saying about not wanting other people to work on some shit that you work on, because Naughty Dog is going to want to, they're going to want to keep a level of quality that maybe only can be achieved by their team, right? So I get that. I get that point. But where I agree with Jemiah is they do that. They do get teams, other teams, and get people from other teams to work with other people on content. They've done that in the past. They've done that.
I'm not saying that.
So what's the problem? Okay, so ultimately, because I don't want us to get off track here, the question that was asked to you is what good has come from Bungie, and you said the fact that they told the truth about live service to a company that's well aware of what live service is.
No, I don't. I do not think that Naughty Dog had a clear view of what it meant to be a live.
But that's speculation. That's speculation. So let's say that could possibly be true, and it could possibly be fake.
Based on Neil Druckmann's statement about what his plan for content was, he had no clue what he was stepping into. He thought he was going to make factions and they were going to get it out the door, and that they were going to then be able to work on other single player games and get other things done.
But they could.
I am telling you, in fact, the entire industry has been telling you, with the way that live service games work and the cadence and of content that needs to come out for these games, these people were never going to get to do anything other than make factions 2 content. They were never going to be.
But you're assuming that they couldn't hire additional people. That's the problem.
We see this with COD. Infinity Ward made the COD that blew up, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. Mm-hmm. They made Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, and that was their project. That's the one that blew up. And then slowly but surely, as they started trying to make the next game, they had to incorporate more people to keep the content flowing, and they started bringing in other studios and more studios, and before you knew it, it was all Activision was. They were literally hiring devs. Okay, you can put out something and see if it works. Oh no, it doesn't work. Now you're a Call of Duty support team. This is literally what live service games. Just like for players, it literally sucks a developer in, and that's all that they do. It's literally all that they do.
Let me answer this question real quick, Corey.
Needs to come out.
Let me answer this question real, Corey. Dave Rock said, "Sick, you are assuming that the other studios would accept to work on factions." Now, do anybody know what's wrong with that statement before I actually comment on what he just said? He said that
like these studios have a choice. Like,
for a support studio, they don't technically have a choice. Sony would just simply assign them to work on it, and they would have to do it.
If Sony told fucking Santa Monica to go work on Naughty Dog factions, they would have to.
You know how many times I've been put on projects that I just stupid fucking projects that I think is fucking retarded, but nigga, what the fuck am I gonna tell them? Nah. Hey, nigga, I got better shit to be doing than to work on this project that you need me on, dog.
But what I'm saying is, Corey, say like, who's like Neil Druckmann's number 2, right? He could break
That's
off
funny.
and make his own studio, right? You say,
But they have
you're number 2.
multiple. They got multiple teams already.
But what I'm saying though, like you can take like the core team, the core secondary team, break them off, take the people you got from Bungie, all that talent you paid for to keep, bring them over there, make our own unique studio under Naughty Dog.
LFG.
That's a brand that makes that keeps up factions. So like I don't understand, like you're acting like it's impossible.
No, I think they've already done that with LFG.
I'm not saying that it's impossible. But if we're saying, okay, we're going to take some of these Bungie's employees to work on factions, these people were already working on games within Bungie, and they were also supporting Destiny, which is still ongoing. It's not like it's about resources. It's about managing that resource. And if you want to make the argument that this was poorly managed, absolutely,
okay,
I'm on board with that.
Okay.
But if you want to,
well, no, I'm not making that point at all. You know, the only point that I'm making is that I think Bungie was a terrible fucking purchase, bro. That's the only point that I'm making. That is the only one.
I think it's a subjective point, and you're entitled to your subjective point. I think that employing the company that founded what is basically the modern day live service, and I get that you think Bungie founded.
Do you think Bungie founded live service, bro?
No, they didn't found live service.
No, but I'm saying you think that they were the first ones to get to it?
No, they created what is the template for the modern live service game. Destiny 1.
When did Destiny come out?
2013, 2014. I
thought it was 2014. And yes, I do very much remember games that are live services existing prior to that point. Now you try to circumvent that by saying modern.
What was the game? What was the game?
I can even go with GTA.
Okay, so GTA in 2013, 2014 was not a live service.
That was 2013.
What?
GTA was 2013. It was at the end of the PS3 life cycle.
GTA Online came out October 1st, 2013, I think.
It came out a bit after the base game. But instead of killing dead horses, right? I get what you're saying, Corey, but no. You still give us something good. And when I say good, I mean good for the company as well as good for the consumer. Because shit like they saved Naughty Dog as a studio or some shit, or however you're wording that is a negative, dog. That is a negative. We need to let's move to a different point, because that we can't validate that at all. What I can validate is the nothingness that has come from this acquisition by Sony, and me being a PlayStation fan, right? I can't validate any reasons for them to even fucking stay. Better yet, talk about what I've received. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So here's the thing, Sick. They make first-person shooters. You've already said that you don't really play first-person shooters like that. So no matter what they made, they were never going to make anything for you. They could have made the best game in the history of PlayStation, and it wasn't going to be for you because you don't really like first-person shooters like that.
Okay. So what did they do?
We're talking about live services.
Yeah. What did they do?
How's everybody going?
Wait, one second, Thug. What did they do for first-person shooter fans? Fuck me. Let's just say, well, don't fuck me. Pause, nigga. But what I'm saying is, forget me.
I know what you did.
Forget me. What did they do for fans of first-person shooters? Actually, matter of fact, fans that are already fans of their franchises.
So while I get it, you specifically don't like Destiny. There are a ton,
I just said, forget about me. It's not about me.
Again,
I'm
there are
saying,
a
what did they
metric
do for the
ton.
people who do like it?
There are a metric ton of people who love Destiny. It kept these people playing the exact same game, literally the exact same game, for almost 7-8+ years now. These people are still playing the same game from 2015.
Massey, you are
7+ years from
articulating.
that.
Hey, you are articulating it in the incorrect way. The best way to answer Six's question is what they did for the fans of first-person shooters is implement a new engine that was addictive as CODs.
No, what I think Sick is saying is
That's what they did.
No,
That's what they
you're
did.
missing the question though, Nasty.
I'm
The
man,
question
listen.
is, since PlayStation's acquisition of Bungie, what have they done for the fans as well as for the business? I'm not even going to look at it from one perspective. I'm going to look at it from both perspectives.
I think they are doing exactly what the Japanese owners at Sony anticipated.
Which is?
See, here's the thing. Bungie carries a lot of back. All right, and this was dating back to Activision. Sony, you can be damn sure that the executives over there at Sony, not PlayStation Studios, or you could probably say PlayStation Studios, but I can guarantee you people at Sony, people that basically approved that purchase of Bungie, talked to the people at Activision. They know the history of Bungie. They know how basically Bungie essentially used Activision to drum up enough money to get Destiny out and everything. But not only that, there was still some fuckery going on. There was some bullshit going on behind the scenes with not Activision fucking Bungie, but Bungie fucking Activision in terms of getting more out of the deal, basically.
So,
and then basically cashing a check and running, and then the plan was to do that with Sony.
So you Sony, still missed me though, Doug. I still don't know what they've done. What have they done?
What since they've been with Sony? They haven't. Basically, they are doing what they're fucking up. Let's just be real. Let's just be real.
He can't even. He's like, hold on. Yo, I can. Yo, through the mic, I can hear this nigga brain processing, nigga. His shit was in overload right now.
Exactly what they have been doing.
Up and
why is it so hard for y'all to say that they've done nothing, dog? Why is that so hard, dog? It's okay.
My answer is actually very simple. They're doing exactly what they were doing before they were purchased by Sony,
which was looking to be acquired, nigga. Like,
they still have a very successful live service game, bro. Like they literally just put out they literally have a $100 release for Destiny 2 right now in the PlayStation Store, which happens to be the #1 most pre-ordered item in the PlayStation Store right now.
Is it? Okay. That look. Yeah. That's a fun fact. But I'm sorry, dog. I still don't see it.
They already created their big money making franchise, right? So Bungie pivoted over to making Marathon. Marathon was in production when Sony acquired them. However, the plan is, and I'm pretty sure the plan has always been, get the leadership the fuck up out of there. And the way that you can do that is basically put into the contracts, whereas, hey, if you don't meet these certain targets, you do not get your golden parachutes. You can look at when I saw that live stream, boy, that look on that man's face knew that he not only just fucked himself over, like he's going to be, looking for work and probably not get hired. Like he put his family's.
What are you referring to?
Dude, Bungie had a live stream. I believe it was yesterday or the day before.
Oh, did they?
But they had to address the plagiarism issues, and he basically regurgitated a written statement that I'm pretty sure was made by Bungie's legal team. However, you can look at that dude's face and tell that yeah, one, I guarantee you they've tried to reach out to that artist. Two, ever since that artist tweet has went viral, I guarantee you there are a fuck ton of high profile lawyers with a line around the block trying to get access to her because they know that this right here is a fucking, oh man, this is a dunk and a
It's
half.
a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk.
So you haven't heard Sony make a statement or anything about it. And if I'm Sony, I'm just sitting back because the reality is like, hey, you're fucking independent. You're a subsidiary of us, but you're independent. You operate independently. You manage that money that we bought, that we paid you to buy you guys out. You manage that shit yourself. So what you do within your own sector, legal issues, whatever, that shit's on you. But
yeah,
these fucking deadlines, you better meet those, or else, again, no golden parachutes.
that sounds crazy.
But Sony put to the contract, if they don't meet financial goals, then they're going to dissolve the whole board of
Exactly, bro. Like that's
So
that's what
now.
that's
Let
what I'm
me ask
saying.
you.
Like fuck the leadership at Bungie.
Let me ask you. Hold on. Let me ask you because it's in regard to this, but I don't want it to. I don't want it to pass by. So if Sony's leadership does take the helm, right? Let's just say they do. What does that change?
Jim Ryan's gone. Look, man. Look. Listen.
Dog, why do y'all keep blaming Jim Ryan for what Bungie is doing as he's gone?
Jim Ryan's gone.
A quality first-person shooter dev that can that is now under the explicit direction of PlayStation management.
Exactly.
So what does that mean, though? I hear what you're saying.
I say that it means what we've always wanted, right? We've said this in the past before that we've always wanted Sony to put as much passion, direction, and emphasis into a multiplayer project as they do with their single player projects. We want something that's on par with that. Now we did see glimpse of what that could look like with regards to Helldivers 2. Get what I'm saying? Like those guys were on their own. It was lightning in the bottle, I guess some can say, but no, what it was like, you know, you could tell that there was passion put in that damn project, bro. You know what I mean? Like those developers, like they give a fuck about their game. You know, and to this day, it's still like it's still in the top 10 most played games on Steam. so that's.
Hey, this nigga wild. Hold on, let me get this super chat real quick.
Go ahead.
Borbor Country says, everything that you discuss, I want you to remember that the world was shut down for 2.5 years and a bunch of people died, even PlayStation Studios. This nigga's stupid, man.
I mean, he's not wrong. That man credit. I mean, put a wrench next to that man's name and put him in.
I'm sorry, that was funny, dog.
This is my thing, though, right? This is why it doesn't make sense. You had a well-known IP, Last of Us. You know, the Last of Us multiplayer was well loved. You had that right there for people to buy and put money into this thing, and all this. They don't want to give it over to other people, bro. They're not gonna add fucking jets to the game, bro. It's Last of Us, nigga. It's zombies. It's basic shit. They're gonna add new guns, maybe new outfits. They're not gonna add trucks and fucking Humvees and all kind of wild shit to the game. The game's gonna stay relatively basic. It's gonna be mostly.
If someone would have told me that they were gonna put Ninja Turtles in COD 10 years ago, I would have told you that you were fucking crazy. But here we are today in 2025, and it's Ninja Turtles and fucking Nicki Minaj and COD, bro. Do not talk to me about what happens when you turn your creative work over to someone else. Bro, you just can't turn your vision over to somebody else.
Hey, I can't front. That was funny as fuck too, dog, because I ain't gonna lie to you. When I saw the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, bro, I'm like, bro, the fuck? Like, the only one I thought was cool, I think, was like the Terminator shit that they had. But all this other shit, like the nigga from The Boys, what was his name?
Like, why the fuck? Why the fuck is Nicki Minaj in COD, bro? Like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Activision decided that. Activision decide what goes to the COD, not the studios themselves. So Sony still controls the overall direction of the studio. It's not like they're gonna create a third party studio. They're gonna give it to like a third party or whatever, and they're just gonna add Mickey Mouse to the game. No. Sony still controls everything. Activision wants to make money by selling dumb motherfucking skins. So they're gonna add Nicki Minaj. They're gonna add whatever they want to add because it makes money.
Sony don't. And Sony don't.
But Sony
don't want to make money selling skins to people. Like,
they do.
This is what I'm saying.
They absolutely do.
They're not gonna add fucking the Ninja Turtles to The Last of Us. Sony's not retarded. Like, Call of Duty and The Last of Us are two different IPs with two different types of fan bases. Like
I'm not debating you there, Jemiah, but I can guarantee you there are some hardcore COD fans who do not like the fact that their game, that the game that they love, that the game that they grew up playing, now is fucking Fortnite Lite or Fortnite Junior.
Why are they still buying it every fucking year then?
Because these niggas are addicted, Jemiah. It's like asking a crackhead why they keep buying crack. They know it's bad for them. They addicted.
The game is not the same, bro. Stop it. Like you can put down COD and pick up any other first person shooter, bro. It's not the same. Like let's not act like these dudes don't complain every year about Call of Duty, and that's just number one on the charts every fucking year. So let's stop it.
Call of Duty hasn't been the highest selling game since the year before Harry Potter game released.
Well, Hogwarts Legacy took it that 1 year.
Hogwarts, no, but I mean, it wasn't number one selling game last year either.
What's up with the number one last year?
What do you think?
It was Wukong.
Was it Wukong?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
But who made the most money though? I guarantee it wasn't Wukong. I guarantee it was it's a live service game. I guarantee you, Helldivers made more than Wukong. I mean, come on now. What I'm saying is though, it still was number 2. It's still in the top 3.
Nah, I don't think. Hell no. Helldivers didn't make more than Wukong.
Helldivers has their
Helldivers sold 12 million. Wukong, I think they're somewhere probably at like 30 million right at this point.
There are also packs that you buy and all kinds of shit. And
yeah, the thing is, you don't have to buy any of those packs.
But people don't farm. People don't farm
the game. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, when I was playing Helldivers, every time those packs came out, I was fucking up the money for them.
Nah, but that's what you do, nigga. That's that Overwatch shit that's kicking in.
That's what a lot of people do, Stick. That's what a lot of people do. They're not gonna farm the game.
Okay, well, that's not even that's not the argument. That's neither here nor there. The argument is what Bungie did.
They didn't do shit.
That has been good up to this point in the acquisition.
I hope it's all negative. I hope it's all negative all the way up until Marathon's release and after its release. I hope it's so fucking negative that, like look, man, up the leadership over there at Bungie. I want Sony to fucking take over. I want
and then
Japanese
do what?
Come in and swing their katanas around. You understand?
And then no. What do you expect to get when that happens, right? Because you're looking to basically burn the building down.
No. I expect not to burn the building down, but to burn the executive offices down. See, the thing is that I want that Japanese leadership to put in their own people and provide and basically give those developers a fucking iron curtain direction.
And then basically, what does that change? Is my question. That would mean, motherfucker, you are going to make a sequel to Destiny 2. That's what it is. So you want them to make more Destiny is what you want them to do.
They're going to make Destiny 3.
It's likely what's gonna happen.
So why in the hell did it take you that long to get to that point? You could have just simply said, I want them to make another Destiny, nigga. I want them to lose their leadership so they can make a new Destiny.
Let me answer this question. The reason why it took me so long to get to that point is because every time when I'm on the fucking round table, Roy always talking. So Roy, if you listening, fuck you, nigga. I get to talk, nigga. I'm free. Let me answer.
That nigga was like, yo, so what do you think we gonna get if they change leadership? That nigga say, well, if you cross the pond and then go near the water over there, just to get back to, well, I just want them to make another Destiny, nigga. Like, can we just get that?
I said that they made a quality shooter that has lasted 7 years. Do I think that they could make another one? Yes, absolutely.
So y'all don't want anything different from Bungie. Y'all just want them to do more of the same.
They already got a different studio making something different.
They're already making something different, and y'all are intent on seeing that thing fail.
Nah, if it's the gummy bear shit, like I said, I would have to see it and give it a try.
Marathon.
Oh nah. That one, shit.
Yeah, fuck Marathon needs to fail. Fuck yeah.
That's my point. Like the community is intent to see Marathon fail. They're already making a new IP, and the community wants it to fail. They want it to fail so bad that literally they are jumping on the fact that they stole this lady's assets, and this is now the
wait. So stealing the assets, is that something that shouldn't be highlighted?
No, I'm not saying that it shouldn't be highlighted.
Assets, man. It was also like the fact that when that alpha came out, the Destiny Marathon Alpha came out 1 week before Arc Raiders Alpha came out. These people got a chance to play Marathon, and the reception for that alpha was kind of mixed. Everybody saw it, right? But then when Arc Raiders came out, and listen, I don't even watch extraction shooters on streams or anything like that. I don't care for Tarkov. But I was sure as hell watching gameplay of Arc Raiders, and that shit looked good.
What I'm saying, Corey, if you saw McDonald's come out with a Sour Patch, peanut butter, and broccoli sandwich, you want it to succeed? Like, come on, bro. Like, let's not play games here. You can see that it looks like trash. Like, let's not play games and semantics here. This shit does not look good.
Wait, let me get this super chat real quick. Shout out to Metro Knight, appreciate you, brother. He say, would it have been a bad idea to expand upon the already established Last of Us multiplayer online game that people still play? Just revamp the gameplay and add a multiplayer horde mode? No, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Again, I still don't even know why Factions isn't coming out. Again, I heard the arguments, so I hear what Corey is saying. Like, you know, they don't want to dedicate their lives to making a live service game, which is fine. I believe that they should have delegated that responsibility to another team. You know, once they got the base of it down, you know, you could have had a whole nother team that's maintaining and creating new content. Like, I feel like that should have been the case. But then Corey feels that you know, nobody wants to hand over their work and, you know, see somebody else take over it or whatever. I don't think that should have even been a problem, seeing as they wanted to make more single player games, right? But yeah, I don't I don't see the value or benefit in Bungie. Do I want to see the executives change? Maybe that would make a difference. Maybe, but it's still the same workers, so I don't know how much is actually going to change, but we can keep hope alive.
Look at Sandfall Interactive though. They're Ubisoft workers, and look what they made. So I don't think it's actually the workers, because devs are going to do what they're told to do, and that's it. So if the leadership is something to do Marathon, which looks like a generic ass game.
Here's the thing though, those developers, from what I heard, and this is from the team themselves, they say it's only a couple of Ubisoft devs on that team.
But the main dude,
they said the majority of folks who's on that game were like junior developers or whatever.
Well, even still, they got niggas on Reddit to write the story. So you can't tell me that you can't put together a handful of people and make a good game with good leadership. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but then it got to be something that people want, right? Like, again, I was open-minded to Marathon because you know, it looked alright, and then I saw the actual gameplay and I was like,
yeah, this is my thing.
Yeah,
Bungie could have made another Destiny. They could have made anything that's in their wheelhouse, but they decided to go outside their wheelhouse and make some fucking trash extraction shooter. Come on, that's ridiculous. They could have made a new game there was a shooter that was PvE with a little bit of PvP, and then it would have been a hit.
Everyone is trying to chase that trend. Everybody
Yeah,
wants. So I believe Ademion said it best. It was like, you know, when
Who?
PUBG came out, Ademion, there was a YouTuber.
Who the fuck is that? Edemian?
I've never heard it too.
He's a white guy. So anyway, no offense to the white people out here. Listen. So anyway, he made the distinction of the comparison of like, all right, when PUBG came out.
Wait, hold on. That ain't the nigga that don't bathe and got like a dirty ass. Oh no, that's a husband. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, not him. Okay, so listen. So so basically what he laid out was that all right, PUBG came out. PUBG was a massive hit, but Battle Royale didn't really explode until Fortnite.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
But basically, every company is trying to make the Fortnite of Tarkov. You know what I'm saying? Like Tarkov is basically PUBG, but
you know what the first thing was that threw me off though?
To make that Fortnite. You know what I'm saying?
The first thing that threw me off was the color palette for that game though. That's kind of ugh.
Are you talking about Marathon?
Yeah, the color palette kind of.
There was a former developer at Bungie actually spoke about the color palette. Said that they're basically using a blue tint whenever blue is associated whenever you know, in terms of gaming, in terms of it's like it's associated with like sleek, calm, you know, just like, you know, it's not. A blue tint will not provide a sense of urgency. So red is usually is associated with like adrenaline, danger, warning. So they said just even the color palette of Marathon itself will make people, especially a lot of people who have ADD, which is a fuck ton of gamers, millions of gamers, will fucking lose interest, like in, you know, minutes of playing this fucking game just due to the color palette.
Bro, this is about to get Bungie, right? It's like McDonald's coming out tomorrow making spaghetti and meatballs. Nobody wants that shit from McDonald's, nigga. If I want spaghetti and meatballs, I'm gonna go to Olive Garden, nigga. Stick to what you do best, nigga. Make PvE shooter games. Why are you out here trying to copy other games when you were the guys who made Halo? You were the guys who made Destiny. Now you're trying to copy Tarkov? For what? That whole fucking genre is super niche. It was never going to be the Fortnite of anything. So you played yourself, and now you're about to get fucking taken over by Sony, and I hope Sony guts the whole fucking studio and makes Destiny 25. I don't give a fuck. But this shit they're doing now is not going to happen. This LFG shit? No. Like, what are you doing?
I don't understand that logic, though. Now you're saying gut the studio? Wait, first it was fire the executives, now it's gut the studio. It's like, let's throw this 3.2 billion out the window, nigga. Just
can we at least there you go. Can we at least keep the talent, nigga, please?
Yeah, no, keep the talent, but all the leadership has to go.
Thank you.
All this or whatever, you get the hell out of here. Yeah, niggas delete let these niggas down.
That's what I like to hear. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah. We are
now talent. I mean, like actual people who put the code in, not these dudes who make decisions. You know what I mean?
Hey man, by the way, Jemiah, fuck you, okay? Because I invited you to play with me on Marvel Rivals, and you didn't respond a while ago. But I still remember because it hurt my feelings.
No, I never.
Are people still playing that game? Because I don't even hear about it no more.
I never even seen anybody for anything about Marvel Rivals. Is that you did it on Steam?
Yeah, I mean, I stopped playing.
Okay.
I have other shit going on.
Nah. You can't. Nope. Bring that shit back here, boy. Listen. What happened? What happened? You were so excited. I mean, you were spending money in Marvel Rivals and everything. What happened? What happened? Man, you gotta stop doing this, dog. You gotta stop. You got a kid, dog. You gotta stop this, bro.
Listen, man. That's why I stopped. Because every time when I hop on, Lincoln would hit that corner, bro. My youngest would just hit that corner, and then he would, hey. And so I was like, all right.
Yo, why I just picture that shit in my head, dog?
Real talk, Thug Nasty. That having kids would make me stop like playing multiplayer shooters like that too, because you just can't really do it, especially when you got a little kid, because you can't pause the game.
When you get home from work and you get them down to bed, and then it's like, man, you hop on and motherfuckers is just
They're ready to get off.
Man, listen, I'm not like fuck me. Come on, man. I am tired. Can I just like kill a couple of y'all sometimes? Did you give myself a positive cake? Can I just chill? Can I chill, please?
Nah,
but
man.
no. These motherfuckers want to go hard. They want to go hard in the paint, talk shit, and like I don't, and then I realized like, yo, man, I'm in my 40s, bro.
Nah, man. This is what happened, bro. You started playing Marvel Rivals. It was hyped up. Everybody was loving it at that particular point. And there wasn't much to the fucking game, bro.
I'm gonna go against.
So let me ask you, Thug Nasty. Let's say you had 0 kids, no kids, none whatsoever. You think you would still be playing?
Right, he would be playing Marvel Rivals right now.
I would be, and if I was like younger, right, and didn't have like responsibilities like that, I mean, hell yeah, I'd probably be on
right now.
I would be on comp right now, nigga, talking shit
right now.
Yes.
I don't think you would, dog. I don't think you would. Nah, you still playing it, Corey? You still playing it?
No, I think you get to a point where you age out of multiplayer, where it's just.
Hold on, I thought you was about to hold on. I thought this nigga was about to tell us why he would be playing it. Nigga, like, nope.
No,
I ain't playing it either, nigga.
The age plays a factor, bro. Like the age really does play a factor. I'm like,
it's not age, bro. It's not age, dog. I'm telling you.
I don't need age. You know what I do when it comes to Helldivers 2 on my rig? Like, nigga, keep in mind, I just recently bought a 5080, okay? And the only games that I have installed on my rig right now is Helldivers 2 and Marvel Rivals, and I just stare at the icons on my screen. That's it.
Are you sure? Let me ask you, because I had to have this conversation with myself, dog. Are you sure you still like gaming?
I love Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. I mean, I've been playing that. If you look on PSN, you see that I'm on there like every day. I'll play for like. I
agree. I got the platinum in Clair Obscur.
Yeah. I'll play for like 20 minutes, and then Lincoln will come in, hey, and then I'm like, all right. So,
but that's the thing, bro. Like, I got to the point where it's what it is. It's so many games that just aren't great, that I had to start having that conversation with myself, like, yo, do I really still like doing this, or what is it? And then every time I say that, a game pops up, and it's like, all right, this is why I love gaming. Yeah. So I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's a quality of whatever you're playing thing.
Yeah, quality of games.
Again, I'm saying that it's an age thing in terms of aging out of a certain genre. Like when I was a kid, I played sports games. Now you can't get me to buy a sports game. I just never gonna buy a sports game. It's never gonna happen. But in my 20s, I played a shit ton of lives and 2K and multiplayer games. Bro, I just got no time for that shit now.
Yeah, facts. Man, like, look, man, we are old. Okay, that's just all there is to it, Sick. We are just like you.
40 plus, man. 40 fucking.
But I acknowledge that there's a whole gang of young niggas who still love this shit, and
I envy them niggas in a way. I'm kind of jealous of them. It's like, damn, man, I remember what it was like to,
Yeah, they still deep in it.
Yeah, hop on there with your friends, and like even though you're playing Call of Duty and shit, like you are literally like how we are in this Discord, right? That's how we'd be in Call of Duty, but in our 20s, just talking shit. Like it's that shit was talking shit. Yeah, that shit was fun. It was fun. I'm gonna do that now. Hell to the motherfucking no.
And to be fair, that's my whole reason for why I am still in support of the live service shit and still in support of the multiplayer shit with Sony. is because I
I
understand
am
that this
not
game is not for
inside. I am
me.
not gonna go that goddamn far, man. You are smoking crack, nigga.
Okay, it's not for me. It's not for me. It's not for me. It's for it's for my kids who are into that kind of shit.
Man,
My
listen,
kids
Well,
play.
here's my thing, and I
the companies that
Channel
are
live service.
experienced and talented in making single player games, let them create what they want in that genre. They do
This
not
is why
need
we
to
gotta
go
stop
out.
having narratives. This
wait,
is
wait,
why
wait,
we
wait,
gotta
wait,
stop
wait,
having
wait.
narratives
Or
like nasty.
Here, no, 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 no. Here's
This is why we
the
gotta stop having
reality.
narratives like nasty.
or you can let them do what Naughty Dog
This is why we
did
gotta stop having
and let them
narratives.
listen, and let them create that multiplayer, whatever multiplayer that they would let it be a mode in their single player focused game. Just how Uncharted, just like Uncharted 2, just like Last of Us factions in the Last of Us game. You know what I mean?
The
That's
reality,
exactly
the reality of it is, Corey, I don't dislike live service games. I
I'm
don't.
not saying that you do.
It might
I'm not saying
come
that you do.
off to a degree that that is the fact, but nah, I played plenty of live service games and thoroughly enjoyed them. Even first person shooter games like what was it? It wasn't Left 4 Blood. It was Back 4 Blood. It was Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood, not Left 4 Dead. I was thinking of Left 4 Dead, but it was Back 4 Blood, and I really enjoyed that game. The thing is, it feels like Sony has no clue, even with Bungie. They have no clue of what the fuck to do with a live service.
Yeah, because that's all
they're learning. That's what this whole process is, bro. That they're learning. They're learning. You're gonna get some shit wrong when you're learning. You're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it right off.
You know what's gonna be a
the bat.
failure though? You want me to tell you what'll be a failure? If they chase Helldivers to success, because Helldivers 2 was a success for a myriad of different reasons, but that doesn't mean that people want more and more of those types of games.
Helldivers 2 was lightning in a bottle. Helldivers 2
they couldn't have predicted that.
Recreate Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 could not recreate Helldivers 2 success if they tried.
I agree.
So, but the thing is they're going to try because they're making another game. They're going to try because they're going to make another game. In fact, they're making another game and it's supposed to be multi-platform. Good luck to them. That's all I can say to that. Good luck. I played the original Helldivers 1, and I remember there not being a lot of people who played the original Helldivers 1. And the success of Helldivers 2, where motherfuckers was sleeping in servers so that they could get up in the morning and play. I don't think that that's going to happen with a non-Helldivers IP. I just don't. But they're gonna find out their own way.
I don't think they will.
I
think Sony is gonna acquire them before any of that ever happens. Even though I know that they said, because that was the talk of the town, hey, Helldivers, Arrowhead said that they're breaking free from Sony, and that's not what they said at all. But you know, that's that's what people put out in the air. And
they did say that their next game is going to be multi-platform.
No, they didn't say they were going to break free from Sony, nigga. That's not what they said.
Break free.
No.
Said that.
No. That was what I said, but you said something that I wasn't even talking about.
Okay.
No, I was talking about the way they tried to paint them saying that they're going to make their next game independently. It's different if you say, hey, Arrowhead said that they're gonna make their next game independently, not Arrowhead said they're gonna break free from Sony or what the fuck? Like that's not what the fuck they said. No, but they
understood. Sony owns the Helldivers IP. Arrowhead's free to do whatever the hell they want right now. Right now, they could go do whatever the hell they want. They can't take the Helldivers IP because Sony owns it.
Yeah, for sure. No. The thing about that whole situation is that. I think even if they do make something new, again, it's not going to turn out the way that they expect. And Sony gave them a lot of leeway for them to make a lot of money to be able to do the things that they doing, and I ain't got no problem with it, honestly. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. You do what you need to do so you can come up, and then you do your own thing. Like, isn't that how the hustle is supposed to work?
Yeah,
That's how that shit's supposed to work.
You work under somebody else until you can get your own shit, and then you can get
And then
your
you
own
do
shit.
your
You go
own
do
thing.
it.
Like I don't understand why that was even like a big talking point at any point in time. I mean, I get it. I do know why, because slander, right? But outside of that, that's a good thing. It's a good thing that they made so much money from Helldivers that they were able to say, okay, so next game we're gonna publish our own game, because that's what you want to do. You know who else decided to do that exact same thing? Insomniac.
Yep. They were a second party studio, and they went out and they made what's that game that failed on Xbox?
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. Yes, they went out and they made Sunset Overdrive, and they tried their hand at multi-platform third-party development, and they could only get Microsoft to buy into it. Microsoft made it exclusive, and it did what it did, and then they
didn't do what it did. That shit failed.
They came running back home. They went back to what they knew worked. They went back to what they knew worked. Their next game was what? A Ratchet and Clank game. They went back to what worked. But my thing with what I was talking to Doug Nasty about narratives is that we got to stop with this whole, the narrative is this, so this is what it is, bro. Because
I don't know what you mean by that, though.
When we talk about Sony having games that are going to be multiplayer, or that this is this is the kind of mode that people like. We want smaller multiplayer modes. Let's be honest, bro. The Last of Us faction was cult classic status. It was 100,000 motherfuckers really who played that shit religiously. That shit was not popping like crazy. It wasn't motherfuckers every day on PS4 talking about how they wanted to play Last of Us factions, bro. Like, we gotta stop this shit. It wasn't the multiplayer juggernaut that we have made the Last of Us factions 2 out to be. That wasn't it. But it's the narrative that Factions 2 was going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. It was going to be cult classic niche, just like extraction shooters.
I agree with Corey, honestly. The one problem that I do have with what people are doing is they're trying to box Sony into doing just one thing. I think they should definitely diversify. I do hope that they actually get a live service game that's worth having, or whatever the case may be. But everybody's saying that no, they just need to stick to what they're good at. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, because you don't tell any other company to just stick to what you're good at. Like, the fuck? Like, nah.
That's why my point was, I support the live service, not because it's for me, because I think it's for the people who actually are knee deep in the live service. I want Marathon to succeed for motherfuckers who are into extraction shooters. I want it to be good for people who are into extraction shooters. I'm not into extraction shooters, so I'm not going to weigh in on an extraction shooter. I don't need to be a part of that conversation. But a lot of y'all want to be a part of every single Sony conversation, and y'all don't play every type of Sony game. Hell, y'all barely play the games that y'all say that y'all like.
That's a fact. That is a
fact. Y'all
What's
talk
up,
about,
Stardust?
we want smaller we want multiplayer modes. Ain't none of y'all really play Uncharted multiplayer mode like that, bro. Like, stop that shit. Like, can we why don't they bring back Killzone or Resistance? Because y'all didn't buy that shit.
Yep.
Y'all didn't buy that shit. Bring back SOCOM. You know, the last SOCOM, to be fair, came out right before the fucking crash in 2011, where they got hacked.
Massey, don't mean to cut you off. I just gotta say goodbye to y'all fine, beautiful gentlemen. Family's back from grocery shopping, so I'm gonna help out with that. And
you're gonna help her grocery shop, or take out the groceries?
Bring in the groceries.
That's it. Well, bring in, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. The family's here, so yeah, gotta get going.
Yeah, man, stop having fun. go do
Yeah.
something that's
Yeah.
non-fun, buddy.
Exactly what it is. I'm not saying that out, though.
All right, peace out, Nasty.
But yeah, bro, we gotta stop with these narratives of
It's never gonna
Oh,
stop,
we
Corey. You know that.
it's at this point we're voting against our own self-interest, bro. We're literally like, yo, bring back all these games that failed so that they can fail again, so we can say that we were a part of it. Like I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like why ask for a Factions 2 when only two? I think at peak the shit had like 200 something thousand people. Bro, we talking about a mode that had at peak 200,000. If the shit had 200,000 people playing now, we would call that shit a failure, a massive failure. Massive failure. We gotta stop with the narrative, bro.
That we would. All right, so I think we spent a lot of time on this Bungie situation, but and I think we come off with the same conclusion. Actually, no, I'm lying. We don't, because they could fucking get rid of Bungie as a whole, and I'd be alright with that. Hopefully, we do see something from them in the future that makes me say, "Oh wow, glad they kept Bungie." But I don't know if that's going to be the case. Now, there is another interesting thing that popped out, and this kind of pissed me off. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about at this point, but when I saw this, it only made me think, okay, so what's next? And that is hold on, got a video playing. I just had to go back and relive it again just so I could see it again. Fair games.
You want to know about us?
I do.
Seems like everyone does these days. It's simple.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Too much money and too much power is held by just a few people. And it's only getting worse. So, we decided to do something about it.
This is the Finesse goddess, man.
Let's go.
I still want this shit. I don't give a fuck what y'all niggas saying about this and all the hate. I can't wait to play this.
Something like you might drink and drive to work 9 to 5s when I was in high school. These shoes here don't come out
one for me.
This my pick, I'll crop you. Married to the game, said my I do's. Got a window seat like Erykah Badu.
This shit look fire, man, and I'm mad. I am really fucking upset at what the fuck is going on over there at Haven, man. I mean, I get it. I guess the Finesse goddess striked again. Jade Raymond, maybe it wasn't even her fault, right? Because from what it says, from the article, it says that Jade Raymond has been an incredible partner and visionary force in founding Haven Studios. We are deeply grateful for her leadership and contributions, and we wish her all the best in her next chapter, right? But if we're to believe Bloomberg, which usually they are on point, Raymond's departure is happening weeks after Fair Games went through an external test, and that developers at the studio were concerned about how the game was received and its progress. So that's what's happening with Jade Raymond. Again, if we're just gonna go based off of the jokes, then I'm gonna laugh and and say, yep, well, this bitch is just on the move again. I don't know what happened. Hopefully it hasn't messed up anything with this game. Hopefully this game is still releasing. Hopefully they do more testing, but I can't for the life of me understand why they would do an external test and get rid of her, yet not get rid of the game. Because if it was so bad that she ended up quitting based off of the feedback that she got, or they ended up letting her go, based on the progress that was there, then why would they keep the team if not for anything other than PR?
I'm gonna say this because this is my tinfoil hat moment. I think this is an Amy Hennig type situation. Remember when Amy
Clash
Hennig
of the execs?
No, Clash of Creative Ideas. Amy Hennig wanted to kill off one of the major characters in Uncharted 4. She did their playtest, their final external playtest. Sony was like, no, we not gonna do that. And she was like, no, I think this is the way the story needs to go. And they were like, nah, we're changing the story or we're gonna shelve the game. And she was like, well, I'm gonna leave if y'all change the story. And she left, and they just made Neil and the writing team from the Uncharted staff just rewrite that part out. And Sam became Nathan Drake's brother, who doesn't end up killing Sully. And we get the Uncharted 4 that we got now, not Amy Hennig's version. Right. And I think that might be what's happening now with Jade Raymond. I think Jade Raymond wanted this to be sort of the live service multiplayer only game. And I think Sony is looking at her like, yo, I think we could probably get somewhere more with this game if we added some PvE elements to it, you know, make it so that people could play this without having to connect with the team, you know, because we already did that with Concord. I think Concord changed we're just going to let people create what they want and see how it goes version of Sony's live service. So I think Jade Raymond wanted one thing, Sony wanted another, and Sony was like, nah, we're changing it because we're the money and we say and what we say goes. And she was like, nah, I'm out. And she's out, and they're keeping the game because they're gonna make whatever changes Sony said that they are gonna make, for better or for worse. And we're gonna get a completely different game than what they showed in that trailer.
Do you see how the world comes back in the 360? Amy Hennig wanted to kill off Sully, which was like Drake's dad, right? And then in The Last of Us 2, they killed off Joel. What's
funny is that it was Neil who literally was like, yeah, well, we gotta change the story so that you don't kill off me.
That's crazy as fuck when you think about it, right?
That's crazy. That's crazy that Amy Hennig wanted to kill off Drake's dad and fucking Neil wouldn't let her, and so he could kill off Ellie's dad. That's
funny. That's nuts, dog.
That is wild. But yeah, I think that's what's going on. I think this is a creative difference where Jade Raymond is she's sticking to her guns. Like, I wanted it to be this was my original vision. This is what I meant to Jemiah by people not really wanting to turn over their creative vision to somebody to just do whatever the fuck they want with it. And she stuck to her guns. She's probably just like, nah, I could go do something else. I could start another studio. She made enough money from them to do it again. This is the third time she's done it.
Yeah, she got Google, nigga. She got Sony, nigga. She got Ubisoft. Hey, this bitch, she good. She good, man. She good. She nice with it.
She gonna find herself another studio, just like Amy Hennig found herself another studio, and she gonna get to make the game that she wanted to make, and whether or not that, and people are gonna trust it because she's Jade Raymond, and maybe it come out the way that she wanted to, and she'll have her moment in the sun and her moment of vindication, or she'll have her vision taken and told what to do with it.
Well, I just hope that this game comes to fruition, dog. That's my listen. If we find out in the next 3 to 6 months that the game has been canceled, or because what happens when Jade leaves and then the people that she brought in, they decide to leave?
That's a risk that you run when you are willing to let a major key piece of your studio go. Yeah. The people who worked under her, especially if she starts another studio, like the people who worked under her, like, yo, I liked her leadership. I'm gonna go work for her again. It's very well possible.
Yeah. Well, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope we actually do get the game that they advertised here, even though I know it was only CG, but I'm really looking forward to this game.
Sick, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't think that that's the version of the game that we were gonna get ever since Concord failed. I think that was probably that. I think that has been why Fair Games has been sort of radio silent, is because ever since Concord failed, Sony went back to telling motherfuckers your shit don't work, fix it. Like what they told fucking Corey Barlog when he had his first version of God of War 28. Nah, this shit don't work, fix it.
Yeah, he was scared as fuck. He was scared as hell.
He said he was scared. He said Shuhei walked in there, played it, didn't smile, didn't have any sense of joy while he was playing it, got up, walked out. He heard a couple days later that that Sony was like, change it or the game is getting shelved, and he went to work changing whatever it is that he needed to change. Jade Raymond was like, nah, I want to keep it the way that it is. This is my creative vision. And Sony was like, nah, you either change it or you gone. And she chose gone. But I don't think that Fair Games is going to be. I don't think that the Fair Games that we saw in that CG trailer is going to be the Fair Games that releases.
As long as it's similar, as long as we robbing people, I'm cool. It's good.
Oh, I think the concept might remain the same.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be executed the same. I don't think it's going to be a multiplayer PvP heist game like that. It
was supposed to be PvPvE.
Sick. I'm gonna be honest. It literally might end up being more like Payday now than PvPvE. It might literally be more like Payday, where it's just you versus bots, or people in a group versus bots. Well, I don't think that's Sony wants to go in that direction where they give these creative studios the just, here's the blank check. Go do what you want. Go do what you want to make. Make the passion project that you like, which is another narrative that needs to stop. Sony didn't make all their first party studios make multiplayer games, bro. A lot of these studios wanted to make these games.
Mm-hmm.
They did. They wanted to make these games. This was something that Jade Raymond wanted to make. For better or for worse, she wanted to make this game. It wasn't like Sony came to her and was like, bitch, you better make this multiplayer or you're not going to get no money from us.
I mean, you know what? Good luck to her and in her endeavors. Again, like I said, as long as this game comes out, I'm cool. Like, I'm good. I just need this shit to come out. And I need it to be dope. In other news, and this is really head scratching, Call of Duty Warzone mobile service is shutting down. That is interesting. It says, thank you for your dedication and passion for Call of Duty Warzone mobile. The scope of the game is being streamlined and will stop delivering new seasonal content and gameplay updates. Effective immediately, players will no longer be able to spend real currency in the mobile game. Existing COD balances can continue to be spent in game store. Sunday, May 18, 2025 will be the last day the game can be downloaded from the Google Play and Apple App Store, and social features across all platforms will be retired. Bro, what?
Turns out phone gamers don't want to play as Ninja Turtles either.
I mean, but what? Wasn't Microsoft's entire push for this ABK shit was the mobile shit? Is it that, are they doing, let me ask you a question. Throwing out another 10-4 hat question out there. Is Microsoft doing this to give Nintendo a little heads up? Are they doing this because technically the Switch 2 is going to be the new?
No, I
mobile platform. I mean, that wouldn't make any sense because there's way more mobile phones out there than there is gonna be Switches. So just I don't know. None of this shit makes sense.
So my tinfoil hat is that Bobby Kotick is a fucking genius. Bobby Kotick realized that the ship was sinking for COD, and he got the fuck up out of there. And he left Microsoft with the bag, knowing that they didn't have no new ideas for this shit. That's how you get Ninja Turtles in your COD. That's how you get Nicki Minaj in your COD. These niggas have run out of ideas. And now with this mobile shit, it's like we can't sustain this because we don't even know how to keep the people who are supposed to be the diehard COD people playing the actual main game. We can't keep you people interested in the side project. We don't know how to keep you people interested in the side project.
Do you think they're possibly sabotaging the mobile to possibly gain back the console? Because they've been declining even on the in the console space, or shall I say big screen TV space.
I think that this whole step back. I think this whole step back for mobile, especially from Microsoft's perspective, this has got to hurt because I mean, if their next console is supposed to be ARM based, which is going to be a mobile processor, device. It's supposed to be mobile. So this whole the push. Whoa.
Hold on. You're right. Their next console is supposed to be mobile. Do you think they're doing this in preparation for that mobile bullshit that they're about to put out? They're trying to basically siphon people into their device?
Yeah.
Because it's no longer on phones. So if you wanted to play this on the go, you could do this through our whatever that device is going to be. Huh. And then they're creating artificial competition between themselves and the Switch at that point too. Because Call of Duty is also going to be on the Switch. That would be interesting to find out if that is true. Not gonna lie. That would be crazy as hell.
They got to get new users somewhere, 6.
And they know that they're not gonna get them in the console space, so they are going to sabotage the mobile phones, and they're doing that purposely because the phones won't let you create your own store. And they don't want to fight that fight no more. So now they're going to be the store. Ha! Ha! I think we cracked the fucking code.
They never have to make that Microsoft phone store that they were trying to make. They never have to do that shit now. If they make a mobile device, they make their own mobile device. They never have to make a Microsoft phone store like they were saying. They never have to do that shit.
That would be sort of kind of genius. They are carving out a new route for themselves because they can't fight in the console space and they don't want to do that no more. So we sabotage the mobile phone space in lieu of our upcoming device that just happens to be an ARM device. Huh. So what do you think people would do? Do you think they're going to buy into the idea, or they're just going to say fuck Call of Duty mobile?
Nah, I've been saying this. I think that the next console has to hit for Microsoft. Has has to. There's no point in making hardware to this next one. Because if the next one is ARM, well, the next one is pretty much already confirmed to be ARM, and so it's a mobile device. We know that it's going to be some type of mobile device. If this shit don't hit with the mobile gamers, the people who do play on their phone, if this shit don't hit with them, then they're screwed.
You don't think so, Upper Room? What's up, Guapzilla? You know what? I gotta say, if this is indeed their plan, then that plan is solid. It's solid, doesn't mean it'll work. I'm just saying, it's a solid plan. You're making your device sort of kind of a necessity for a specific IP.
For a specific target audience group. That's not console gamers. That's not people who buy set-top boxes for playing on a big screen TV.
You think it's a bad plan, Upper Room? I don't know, man. I don't know. This might be what Microsoft need, brother. This might be what Microsoft need, brother. I mean, it's clear that if the rumors are true, and I call everything we see on the internet rumors if it's not corroborated by the company themselves. But if it's true that they are making this mobile device, that would create a need for that particular device. Like right now, I can't see a need for an Xbox Series anything, because there's just no need for it. There's better options for you. But for this, if the only place that you can get this particular game is possibly on either the Switch or the whatever that device is that they're creating, that might open up a lane for them.
And the way I liking it is to doing exactly what Nintendo did. Nintendo, when they realized that they were not going to be the Nintendo of old in the home console space, they shifted to handhelds.
True.
Microsoft could be pivoting like, hey, we're not going to be what we thought we were going to be in the home console space, but we could be the fucking king of mobile.
If that works,
because who's the king of mobile now? Who's the king of...
What's up, True Bleed?
Who's the king of mobile?
But do you think that'll work for him?
I'm saying it gotta work. It's their only play.
I mean, again, I think they're building artificial competition between them and the Switch. That's literally what I think they're doing. But even then,
I don't think they want to bark up that Nintendo tree. They don't want to leave.
You can when you control the IP that's going to be there. See, that's what people keep forgetting about this acquisition with Microsoft. It's similar to the Doom situation, right? We know Doom could have probably been better or, developed better for the PS5 Pro, but they didn't because they own the IP.
Here's the thing, though, Sick. For the same reason that the whole Doom situation doesn't really hurt Sony, it doesn't hurt Nintendo. People don't buy a PlayStation just to play Doom. People don't buy a Nintendo just to play Doom. They don't buy these products to play these third-party games. They play these third-party games. They buy them.
That is true.
For the first party, for the second party, for the third party. They buy them for everything, to be able to play everything. And so Microsoft just falls into that category of everything on these other platforms. That's why I say they don't really want to bark up that Nintendo tree. They're going to run back into the same problem that they had with Sony. Nintendo would just squeeze them out of the handheld market. But if you jump into the mobile market and you just decide, I'm going to be king of mobile, I'm going to be king of everything that moves mobile in terms of mobile gaming, like phone gaming or smaller portable device type gaming. Yeah, who's the king of that now?
Well, let me ask you, what do you think their odds of succeeding in the next generation, whatever their next wave of consoles is, by whatever standard they have? How do you think that's going to turn out for them?
I think that if they go into the mobile sector, because I don't think that they will. I don't think that they will have any competition there in the mobile sector. I think that they could be very successful in the mobile sector.
The Switch is
Now, the
technically
question-
kind of in the mobile sector too, though.
Nah, again, I put Switch in the handheld console type section. I would say Nintendo's biggest competition right now is the Steam Deck, and 150 to the 5 million plus that the Steam Deck is Nintendo's king. That's, you know, I mean, Nintendo got an entire country behind them. They're gonna be okay. They're gonna be okay. Whether or not you people in the US buy them because you think that their product is too expensive, hell, I'm not buying this shit. I think that this shit's not worth it. I'm not gonna pay $80, $90 to play a Nintendo game.
Hey, did you hear about that shit though? Nigga, that shit got VRR only in handheld mode. And Nintendo came out to clarify that that was the fact. I said, wait, what? Nigga, the VRR only works in handheld mode? Get the
Sick,
fuck
they know.
out of here, dog.
They know the people who are really gonna buy this shit aren't hooking this shit up to their TV, bro. They know the people who are. That's why when they made the Switch when they made the Switch Lite.
But what would be the
was
reason
not
for
about-
that though? What would be the reason that the shit works VRR when in handheld mode, but not in dock mode when it has more power allocated to it and everything?
Because VRR mode would allow them to do 40 frames per second instead of having everything be 30.
Dog. Yo, how is y'all? I gotta really ask y'all, how are y'all niggas excited for this fucking Switch 2, bruh? I told you, everything I see about this Switch 2 makes me not want it more. Every time they talk about the Switch 2, I want it less. I want it less.
I chalk it up to the same reason Link is excited for the Switch 2. Some people were just gonna buy
the Zelda
Mario because Mario. They're gonna buy Mario. They're gonna buy a Nintendo because it's Zelda. They're gonna buy it because of something that is Nintendo specific, and that's it. Hell, I imagine that most people who own a Switch here in the US, they probably own like 5 or 6 games, and those 5 or 6 games that they own are all Nintendo properties. They ain't ever bought a third-party game on a Nintendo
hold
Switch.
on. I think
They don't have no
I
plan
think
on buying
Nick
it.
believes you think that VRR provides more frames, not that they can uncap the frame rate or set the frame rate cap to 40, and if that shit is moving up and down from 40, that the VRR will pretty much sync that motherfucker up, and you wouldn't notice the screen tearing. I think he believes that you believe that with VRR that's gonna give you more frames, or maybe I didn't see more of the conversation. Maybe the part of the conversation I saw was missing some context.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that the whole purpose of VRR is not to give you more frames. It's to make it so that when your frames are dropping, you don't see the screen tearing.
When it's all jittery up and down. I ain't gonna lie, dog.
Yeah.
Like the Switch 2 is gonna be some weak piece of shit. But people gotta stop with this. It's going to be a PS4. PS4 didn't have half the features that the Switch 2 has. So I'm not gonna take it there, bro. I think it will be more powerful than the PS4.
Oh yeah, I definitely think it's going to be more powerful than a PS4. More powerful than a PS4 Pro, just simply because of the feature set.
Nah,
I just
not
think
the
that
PS4 Pro, the PS4.
I would say again with the feature set, having the ability to have VRR, having DLSS, you're probably going to get better results overall than you would on the PS4 Pro, just simply because the PS4 Pro is very much locked into the technology that existed before all of this VRR and upscaling and all of that shit became popular. Because I mean, think about it. DLSS literally came out to PC the year the PS4 Pro dropped.
Mm-hmm.
So PC was just getting it when the PS4 Pro was a thing. Now that the Switch 2 got it, it's gonna give Nintendo a little bit of a bump. I'm not gonna say that they're gonna make trash product. I just don't think that for what they are offering and for what I see from game or what I expect from games, I'm not paying $80-$90 to play some shit that look like it. To play some shit that it look like it could be a PS4 Pro.
Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna look like it's on a PS4. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I'm not paying $80-$90 for it, but shout out to the people who are.
It's funny, they mad at Digital Foundry right now. I love this selective outrage that they have, and it's funny to see it play out because when people on the PS5 be saying the same shit about Digital Foundry in regards to the Xbox, they're radio silent. They're quiet. They're nowhere to be found. But now when they seeing the shit with the fucking Nintendo, it's like, oh, now they want to speak. Oh, they don't know anything. I'm not gonna watch Digital Foundry. I'm never gonna da 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 da. I'm like, dog, it's only gonna take for Digital Foundry to say one good thing about that platform, and you're gonna be right back. Like, cut it out. Being nimble is good too. The pure power can't fix the HD.
Digital Foundry.
Huh?
I was saying that it takes for Digital Foundry to say that the textures are soupy for motherfuckers to hate them, and it takes for them to say, "Oh, this is the greatest thing ever," for motherfuckers to love them again. Yeah, and they know that, and that's why they play it back and forth. Like they'll say something real bad about the Pro, and then they'll come out with a video talking about how the Pro is such a technological leap. They are for all intents and purposes just like every other YouTube channel. They need you people to stay mad enough to stay subscribed so that y'all could comment in their videos about how wrong they are or about how right they are when you agree with them. That's where they are right now.
Facts. Shout out to Anonymous Boss. He say Digital Foundry outrage sick. What are we doing here? Facts. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss anything here really quick. Would it have been a bad? Nope, I got that. Sick. Do you think that the problem is FPS games? 99%. Shout out to Borbor Country at 653. He said, Sick, do you think that the problem is FPS games? 99% of them are ass, including all shooters except Killzone Story. Did you even play the new Doom? Sir, I am not a Doom fan. Not at all. Again, I guess people thought I was playing when I said I'm not a big Bethesda fan. Like, not at all. A lot of the games that they make, Doom just feels like a mindless shooter. It has always felt that way. It's felt that way even back in the like 8-bit days when they were on PC and shit like that. Like it's always just been a mindless shooter. I mean, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. From what I've heard, people are saying they enjoy it. Some people are saying it's mid. Some people are saying, you know, they can't wait to get back to it. And, you know, the niggas with Xbox and Game Pass, they just capping.
Oh, yeah.
They just capping.
It existed from Microsoft, so they're going to cap for it.
Yeah, it's all cap. But if they like it, they like it. I mean, I'm not here to downplay it for anybody who do like it. I'm just saying it's not something for me per se. You know, I might play it in the off chance that I'm bored and just need something to play. But those types of mindless shooters, I kind of left back during the Painkiller days. I don't know if y'all remember that game Painkiller, but that game,
which is coming back.
Indeed it is. But I kind of left it back then with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember my days of playing fucking Quake Tournament and stuff like that. Shit, I used to mod the fucking game back on my PC in the earlier days. And shit, they started changing a lot, nigga. They brought out Quake Kart. I don't know if you remember that, Corey? The racing game for Quake?
Quake Kart?
Yeah.
I do not remember Quake Kart, but I remember Quake.
You gotta look that shit up, dog. You gotta look at that shit.
It would not surprise me that there was a Quake Kart.
There is. I promise you it is, bro. Like, again, all I'm saying is that
for Quake for everything, bro. Quake used to be the game to mod.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily untrue for Bethesda games. Their games exist because of mods.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is. Damn, you had just said something that fucking I wanted to bring up a topic in regards to that. But Apple has struck back. I told y'all Apple wasn't just gonna lay down and let these niggas extort them. Not even with a court order they gonna let them extort. Man, Apple like, man, get your ass out of here, nigga. Denied. Nigga, you ain't bringing that shit back to the App Store, nigga. Take that shit somewhere else.
And I'm gonna be honest, I respect Apple's gangster here. I like the fact that they're like, yo, this is our platform. We worked for these customers.
Dude, I promise you, this is the first time I'm truly on the side of the business, bro. There is nothing about this that makes any logical sense. I promise you, it is the weirdest. This is the weirdest scenario I've ever seen. And motherfuckers is like, oh, Apple just being greedy. No, Apple ain't just finna let them come and extort them.
I think nobody
ain't gonna let you just come in and
extort business over.
That is extortion, nigga. They like, yo, we finna put our free app in your store and we not doing no payments through your payment processing. All of this shit is finna come through us. So basically, you want access to my customers, but you don't want to cut me in. How does that even make sense, bro? I don't even see how this is something that's in court right now. That's the fucking crazy part about it. I don't know how you can sit up here and say that I need competition for my store. Sure, if I need competition for my store, tell them niggas to build their own fucking devices. Build your own device, put your own store there, and bring your own customers to your device. You not coming to my fucking store and saying you gonna build a store in my store. The fuck? Nigga, you finna build a store in my store, use my electricity and everything, but then nigga, I don't get a cut? Nah, hell no. And also, like I kept telling y'all, this sets a terrible precedent. If Apple loses this battle, every closed platform out there would have to rethink this bullshit. Imagine a fucking judge telling Sony that they have to allow the Microsoft Store on their PlayStation device. Imagine that for a second. Imagine that for a second, because that's what it's going to boil down to. That's why Microsoft is just sitting back in a cut and waiting to see how all of this shit play out so that they can take advantage of whatever the results are. And I'm just like, nah, that's insane, bro. And dog, don't think Microsoft won't try it. Don't think they won't try it. Nigga, they thought they were finna try that shit with Apple. And Apple was like, nah. Hell no. And them niggas is like, Apple won't let us put our store out there. They won't let you do payments through us. They want you to go through them. See, the way Epic did it, Epic told them niggas that things will be cheaper on our store if we didn't have to give Apple a cut. So the people who actually play Fortnite and might have some sort of an iOS device, they like, what? Oh man, Apple being greedy, but they're not looking at the bigger picture. They're not looking at the bigger picture, and most people won't because they are not in business. So they're never looking at things from a business perspective, only from a perspective where they feel like they would benefit no matter who it's gonna hurt in the process. But nah, that's some fuck shit. That's some fuck shit. That's why we saw in the court docs, Microsoft trying to give store access through the web browser. Yeah. And not only that, I think PlayStation might have foreseen that. I think that's the reason why they really, like, you can get access to the browser on the PlayStation, but I think that's the main reason why they don't make it freely accessible. Because they don't even want the developers even coming up with an idea talking about you finna be using a secondary payment option on my platform that I've cultivated for fucking years, nigga, to bring in my fan base, and you telling me you want to cut me out of my revenue, nigga? Is you crazy? Have you lost your fucking mind? Yo, this shit crazy, dog. But yeah, that was the last topic I had, man, in regards to that Apple shit, man. That is hilariously crazy. That's crazy, man. However, let's see. I haven't checked in on the bots lately, so I don't know what's actually been happening or what's been said, but let me go over to the old Jamie Zacks, see if we can find some shit to laugh at before I get up out of here. Oh, let me tell y'all what happened today, right? Let me tell y'all what happened today. Hold on. I gotta let y'all know what happened today, right? So check this shit out, right? I had a computer sitting because my cousin's wife basically was like, yo, my computer fucked up, can you fix it for me? I'm like, of course I could fix it for you, bring it over, right? And then I ain't look at that shit for like a week. Yo, nigga, tell me why I go to turn that motherfucker on, right? That bitch turn on and nigga, smoke and fire was everywhere, nigga. The power connector that connects the disk drive, I don't know if they put it in backwards. I don't know if they had it, if something was wrong, but it looked like it was already broken, right? So, nigga, I said, that was the first time I've ever seen a wire fire in a computer. Like, when I say that shit went to sparking, it didn't spread. It just went to sparking. Nigga, I unplugged that shit so fast. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck did you bring to me? What the fuck did you bring to me? Nah, but I got that shit fixed. I had to end up splicing off the end that connects to the disk drive. And then I ended up resoldering the wires back together for the one connector that was actually good, that was left there. And that ended up taking care of that particular problem. But the issue was that the hard drive was completely corrupted. It was completely corrupted. So I ended up wiping that shit, putting a fresh copy of Windows 10 on it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that shit ready to pick up. But I thought that was insanely fucking funny, man. I thought that was crazy as fuck, though. My wife came out in the living room like, nigga, what the fuck? The fuck you got going on in here? I was wondering why they came in. I ain't know that shit came all the way back there. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Let's see. He went from maybe kinda it depends to nope. Who is this? What is this? Sydney Butler. The S is a symbol for hope on Krypton, but what about Earth? Who should buy a Series S? There's no doubt about there are significant compromises on paper for that $200 saving when you buy a Series S. Still, as we've argued above, most of these compromises aren't practically significant. While a few might be deal breakers, the Series S is an excellent product in its own right. This is what a paid article looks like. This is what it looks like when you don't live on fucking Earth and you write articles for a living and you know you need to get clicks, so you have to bring in the people that's looking for good news. This is exactly what this is. Let me see how he feels today, though. Today, he's like, Xbox is now the Betamax of gaming consoles. Damn! Damn! A lot has changed in 3 years, nigga. I sold the Series S because we ended up hardly ever using it. Nah, for real, big dog. However, it turns out I had nothing to worry about because not only are new releases like Oblivion Remastered coming to PlayStation and maybe Switch 2, but Forza Horizon 5 is already on PlayStation 5 as I write this. And a remaster of Gears of War is also on the way to Sony's console. Boy, what the fuck? Wait, so he wrote this article not because he was being paid, but because oh, they did announce that ZeniMax acquisition around, was it around this time or 2021? It was somewhere around that time. Okay, so I see what he thought, that them buying ZeniMax was going to bring a whole bunch of exclusive games that weren't going to be anywhere else. And then he realized that that wasn't the case in 2025 and was like, yeah, let me go and turn that shit into fucking GameStop while I still can. That is hilarious. This fucking guy, even to last June, just, let's see, Middle Gaming GY, is the Gears Collection and Gears E-Day definitely two separate games? Your sources haven't got confused here, right? He was talking to somebody else and this cuck jumped in. Personally, I don't think, or is that, no, that ain't him, that's somebody else. Personally, I don't think Gears Collection exists anymore. I also don't think Gears is going to PlayStation at all. Ooh-wee! Ooh-wee! Well, this was around June 11, 2024, if I'm to take that as the date that he did this. My feelings changed a lot this weekend talking to people in person, and this right here, talking to people in person, doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything because you never even stated who you were talking to. You didn't state whether it was somebody, some developers, some people behind the scenes at Microsoft, some people at Xbox that, you know, you just said, nigga, I could have a conversation with fucking Corey and Thrash and Jemiah and say, I talked to some people about this too. That's all I see when I see this dude. Every time I see him pop up, he's talking like he's a part of the industry. And he's not. That's just what I take from this. Even Tom is like, huh? How do we gain more capability on mobile? Blah, blah, blah. Want to hear a joke? With all the terrible news about what's happening with PlayStation, I decided to go out and buy an Xbox. Yo, this nigga here, man. The peak numbers aren't looking too great when they dropped on day one. Here's the problem. Oh my God. I have to tell y'all this. This game, Doom, has never been crazy anywhere. They never sold buckets. I don't know why people have this twisted perception about Doom somehow at this particular point. This game was never a huge seller. Point me to a direction when it was. If it was such a big seller, then hell, ZeniMax probably wouldn't have been in such a rush to fucking jump under Microsoft. Like, that's crazy, bro. What did y'all think this was gonna read? Y'all thought this was gonna be like 300, 400,000 concurrently playing or all-time peak or something like that? This has never been a big thing. I don't know why. I guess it's because I always tell people I don't really care for Doom, that they probably think that I'm just saying shit about Doom. No, I've seen the way Doom has performed over the years. It's never been that great push. This game, this is the template I am going to use. Helldivers 2 Studios' next game will be free from PlayStation partnership. See, this is what I was talking about. Do you see how he worded this? Free from PlayStation partnership, as if they're like bound and chained together, nigga. Like, it ain't that they're gonna be free from PlayStation partnership. It's just that PlayStation is probably gonna be free from Arrowhead, nigga. I think after all of this shit happened with how this game launched and stuff like that, I think it's been apparent that the executives don't think very highly of the people at Arrowhead. Yeah, sure, you made us a lot of money, but you also did a lot of bullshit. And I ain't got no problem with Arrowhead. I think Helldivers was a good game. But at the same time, that leadership at that fucking place, it just always felt like it was anti-Sony to begin with. So, hey, like I said, I hope PC guys support them on their next endeavor. Hopefully it's going to be great. Even the clown blogger understands that Xbox switching to ARM right now when everyone is expecting a mainline console would spell the end for Xbox. He even reached out to his sources to try and squash the rumors. A Qualcomm job listing suggests Xbox is working on next-gen ARM-based hardware, but what's the truth? Here's what our sources say. Our sources confirmed to me this morning that the next Xbox systems, however, are not based on Qualcomm chips. The plan, at least for now, is for the next-gen Xbox systems to have as much compatibility with your current library as possible. The overheads required to emulate games built for Microsoft's AMD-based systems are beyond what the Snapdragon lineup is currently capable of. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, we gonna see. We are gonna see. Xbox may be transitioning from x86 to ARM architecture, shifting from AMD to Qualcomm. Support the sell-in activities for the next generation of Surface and Xbox products built on Snapdragon solutions. Identify and promote strategic business opportunities for Qualcomm in these areas. Work with the internal and external stakeholders, including legal, finance, business units, marketing, and field teams to help define the next generation of Surface and Xbox portfolios. Holy fuck, man. Manage global demand. Okay, well, let's see. Nah, hell nah. It says it right here. Support the sell-in activities for next generation of Surface and Xbox products built on Snapdragon solutions. Yeah, I listen, there's no other way. There's no other way for you to read this than the way it's being written here. Unless this is a very fucked up communication by whomever created this. It literally says, support the sell-in activities for next generation of Surface and Xbox products built on Snapdragon. And it didn't say Xbox product. It says Xbox products. Surface and Xbox products. I guess they could be talking about Surface and Xbox. But nah, dog. I think they really going with that Snapdragon, big dog. Let's see. Sony may raise prices on PS5 consoles in response to tariffs. They may. Or they may not. Sony's Hiroki Totoki is considering producing the PS5 in the United States due to tariffs. It needs to be considered going forward. That would be interesting. Again, I would love to know where they would have that warehouse to produce these PlayStations. Let's see. This is always good.
Windows. We're the ones who jumped on this unknown hardware from a company that we only knew how to build Windows. You know, look where we got them, right? Bro, like, bottom line is this company is a shell of itself, and the lies and the misinformation and all the shit that we've had to go through. To me, it's a big slap in the face to its fans, and I'm going to get your opinion on that in a second.
It used to be a whole aisle. It used to be two aisles.
Yeah.
It was two aisles. So,
and
yeah,
now,
visibility.
Here's Gears of War Reloaded. Physical copy on PlayStation. Guess what? Xbox, no physical copy, period. Make that fucking make sense to me.
You know what's funny? When the ABK deal went through, and I had this idea that once Call of Duty came to Game Pass, I was like, that's it. That's going to be the driver that brings people to buy a system. Yes. I think that's like the real hope. Well, that's what I thought. And then once I saw that there was no gravitational pull towards like the people that weren't in the Xbox community, I was like, there's no other game that's going to bring them here. And if that's not going to bring them to Game Pass and Xbox, right. then I came to that realization. I'm like, then nothing is.
But like they told us on more than one occasion, we heard Phil on more than one occasion say it's only these games, like that whole it's only 4 games shit. And now it's
that was really messed up. That was screwed up.
Right?
Just
Wait, hold on, dog. Hold on, big dog. How is it fucked up? No, seriously, guys. How is it fucked up? The guy said there's gonna be 4 and nothing more. At that point, you should have called bullshit. Nobody is gonna go sell 4 of anything, make good money from it, and then be like, nah, I don't want to do that again, dog. I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to make that type of money no more, dog. Nah, that's who the fuck thought that would be the case? We literally, right after literally watching that stream, I was like, yeah, more than 4 are coming. That's exactly what the fuck I took from that. I took that more than 4 was coming. They said they were starting with 4. Why do you start with 4 and then stop? What made you think that after they released those 4 games, that was gonna be it? Oh, they don't want to make no more money after that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That don't make no sense. So you needed him to tell you, hey, we're going to be selling more than 4 games. No, you didn't need them. You didn't need them to say that. He told you within that interview that he is running a business. That should have been your first sign that he don't give a fuck about how you feel about these games coming to PlayStation. They're going to bring as many as they can, as fast as they can. Like, dog, wait, what? Like, why do we even have to go through this? Like, why is this even a conversation? For real. For real.
In witnessing everything going on, especially with the whole ABK thing, that it was the Xbox division itself playing fast and loose with Microsoft's money, and now you got...
Shout out to Anonymous Boss. He says, sick. Dirk Griggity is shitting on all PlayStation games. Make it May 6. As if before Microsoft bought ABK, they didn't have Starfield, COD, and Doom. Hey, listen. They got to keep hope alive, brother. They got to keep hope alive. Yo, just wait until Halo come. Just wait until Halo come, nigga. It's going to kill their souls.
Yeah, Nutella knocking on that door saying, "Hey."
Now that's exactly what happened right there.
Yeah, it's got to be a return of investment.
Who's in a fantasy land? Let's be honest. They at least they didn't try it. That's the thing. At least fucking try it.
Right.
Yo, why they sound so upset? Like, what's going on, man? What the hell is going on, man? Oh, man. This is the part of Twitter that I fucking enjoy.
What you think? How would you guys feel if Xbox Era changed its name? But also, I'm thinking about considering like the nature of the way the industry is going, and especially Microsoft's particular push to be on everything. So we were like, what about?
Nah, that wasn't 2025. I think I did that in 2024. I'm almost sure that I made that song in 2024. I did. Wait, or was it 2025? Hold on, shit, I can find out. That was made in... Oh, shit. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. I am back. All right. Now I gotta figure out when did I make that shit, because now I'm not sure. I thought it was last year, but I might be wrong. Hold on. It was September 5th, 2024 is when that song was created. September 4th, 2024 is when that song was created. So yeah, it was definitely before then. What's up, Ghost in the Garage? What's good, big dog? What's good, big dog? How you doing? All right, so let's see. Oh man, PS5 is doing great. If you look at it, man, even in comparison to the PS4, man, they are like right on par as far as like sales go. And that's crazy because the PS5 pretty much costs more than the PS4. So that's interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I think Satya should be cutting from the Xbox hardware division. Let's see. 2022, 324. 2023, 993. God damn. They fell straight off the cliff, nigga. They was at least. Wait, no. What? 2022, they did 63,000. 2023, they did 38,000. And then in 2024, that went up to 41,000. And then in 2025, they're now at like 17.6. This is in Japan, by the way. No, ARM was a failed venture for Nvidia. Nvidia wanted to buy ARM, and you know who went to bat and prevented them from doing so? It was Microsoft, which is why I was confused as fuck as to why Nvidia was jumping on the bandwagon to help Microsoft acquire ABK. It just didn't make a lot of sense. It did not make a lot of sense at all. All right, we went through that. Okay. Okay. Stellar Blade going to PC. He was so proud of Xbox best exclusive games in 2021. Now they're all on PlayStation. Oh, he talking about Tom Warren. Let's see. PlayStation versus Xbox. Sheesh. Blogger hoping for brand damage reversal. Forza Horizon 5 celebrates PS5 release with half blue, half green Lamborghini. Yikes.
On it's somebody else. The FTC has lost. Now we're going to get into, is acquisition season back on the table? You see, the play, at least in my mind, is that game is, at least in my opinion, as big and potentially bigger than Call of Duty. If that was somehow an Xbox Game Pass, I got to be honest with you. I don't care where you game or what's your favorite brand or what's your favorite platform. You would find a way to subscribe to this service. It's that powerful of an IP. And that's where I'm kind of going to rest my hat on. I say that if you're going to go for something big, it's got to be something humongous. And Take-Two would be the play.
What? What up? What? Wait, what? Wait. Hold on. Get the fuck out of here. Wait a minute. Wait, I didn't know who the fuck he was talking about at first. What? Hold on. So, let me get this straight. The biggest game in the world didn't get it done, which is Call of Duty. I'm talking about this game is known by everybody. This shit sells I don't know, like it used to sell like 20 fucking million or whatever per year or whatever, and they used to come out with a game every fucking year. I really need to understand this one. I gotta understand this one. So people aren't leaving PlayStation for Doom, for Call of Duty, for Forza, for Gears of War. But hey, if Microsoft buys Take-Two, that'll get it done. That will get it done. If they own the biggest game in the world, that would get it done. Nigga, isn't Call of Duty the biggest game in the world, bud? Like what's happening, bud? What the fuck is this nigga talking about, bro? Like, Jesus Christ, nigga. Like, this is what we doing for real? Wait. This is what we doing for real? Like, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here, nigga? This nigga just put GTA into Game Pass, bro. Like, that'll make them come. What? What? Yo, these niggas have lost their fucking mind. Yo, this shit crazy, dog. Oh, nah. Y'all gotta it's time to get off the funny farm, bro. It's yo, yo. This man say me and Aaron both got 3 Teslas in our garage. Hey, bro, stop it, dog. Stop it.
Now,
bro.
No longer run FTC by Lena Khan. It's somebody.
Yeah, I'm not listening to this shit. This is crazy.
For new games on a console that nobody wants. That seems a little bit insane, but it's actually what, well, Xbox have just dropped on us with their new global price hike. Take, for an example, the Series X. Why would you spend even more money on an Xbox now that the games will also be released on every other platform, especially when the Series X is now more expensive than a PS5 or a handheld PC? Perhaps the most price and value-sensitive customers have all...
Yo, hey, this will never not be funny, bruh. This will never not be funny. This right here, neither one of these will ever not be funny, dog. Yo, hold on. Let's get this. Let's put this together. Come on. Let's do this together, guys. You're not selling Xboxes at $4.99. But somehow we believe that making the Xbox Series S costs almost the amount of a Series X, what it used to cost. That's going to push more sales? Or better yet, pushing an Xbox Series X 2 terabyte to $729. Bro, who the fuck is going to buy that? Who in the hell is going to buy that? Damn, they're at the end of a generation too. At the end of yo, this will never not be funny to me. I'm sorry, dog. This is pure crack. This is absolute K2. These niggas is smoking sherm. They are smoking the dirtiest of blunts. This right here is like acid, nigga. This is that shit that kill you. This is fentanyl. This is straight fentanyl. Whoever put this together in the Xbox offices, this is fentanyl, dog. They are on the best dope in the streets right now, dog. They are on the best dope in the streets, bruh. There is no fucking way that I'm already having problems selling the console at the price that it is, that I am then going to put out a bulletin that I am going to go up astronomically. That Xbox Series S or Series X is an additional $229. That is crazy. That is crazy. That's nuts.
Already made the call not to go Xbox. Like everybody, they probably just saw that PS5 was going to be dominant, so they backed the winner, right? Which would make sense. Now, there's no point in producing a machine that you're going to be selling at a loss if you're not selling it in the first place. The whole business model with consoles, selling at a loss, being a loss leader, is you grow your store, right? And then you get the 30% of everything you sell on that store. With Xbox being small, there's just less of an incentive there for Microsoft. Do you want to spend $80 for new games on a console that nobody wants?
Man, they raising them prices for nothing.
You just referenced him, Christopher Dring.
Right.
What's amazing to me is the journalists can say anything. And what's funny to me is you've got, I mean, I look at Windows Central and I love Jez. I love reading the stuff that he writes.
Right.
But sometimes I question myself. I'm like, dude, you're in the know, and yet you guys still continue to propagate these articles all this time. They never said every game was coming.
Right.
And you mentioned it earlier about the Trojan horse. Yeah, okay, we're not selling a lot of hardware. Okay, that's cool. The game is software. So we're going to put software here, and nobody is saying we're going to put software there forever. So, you know, all of these journalists need to be real careful about waking
that Trojan horse that has came into play again. They keep talking about this mystical Trojan boy.
Sleeping giant, because that FTC thing that got dismissed this week, man, the last thing you want is a $3 trillion company now with no handcuffs out there able to make moves.
Well,
be
that's
real careful.
That was the whole plan.
I would love to know why he believes that Microsoft would get away with what they got away with ABK. I really think that they really believe that Microsoft is just gonna go and buy up the industry. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter if you have a $3 trillion anything. The US is not the only place that you need to worry about, since you feel like with Trump in office that he's just gonna let them get away with anything, right? Just, hey, pay us on the side. Well, that would be in the US, but outside of the US, totally different fucking game.
What's amazing to me is, and you just referenced him, Christopher Dring.
Right.
Yo, let me ask y'all, why is it that when these folks leave Xbox, right, they like seem more happy? I can't lie. I feel like Shuhei Yoshida seems more happy too, though. Yo, this nigga is crazy. These folks will tell themselves anything. He says, if you have to ask, then you aren't even a true fan. Yes, DualSense are 100% a gimmick of the PS5 generation, and to be frank, it doesn't put any game above any other. Sorry, but yeah, I'm gonna have to say you're wrong about that one, big dog. That nigga said it don't make any, it makes a hell of a lot of a difference. All right, let me move bike. It's the only logical decision at this point, for sure. The state of Xbox fanboys.
Games and not everything's good. This is a reminder that when Phil says something like just 4 games and not everything's going, you can't believe him. He fucking knew. He knew.
Sick. The weirdo has like 5 sock accounts. The Xbox guy. I bet. I believe a whole bunch of people got sock accounts, man.
100% that there was going to be no red lines. He knew that when he got up on stage and did the podcast. And
you mean when he got on stage, did the podcast, and literally said there's not going to be any red lines?
He said that not everything's going right. He knew 100%. And so what else can we call that? Don't bullshit your fan base. And they have a fan base that they built. They spent years and years and years building a hardcore fan base like me.
And they found out how useless y'all were. They found out just how useless y'all were. And they found a different route.
We already knew this was going to happen. I was one of the ones out there. I'm just going to say the name straight out. You know, when C-Money was out there, like acting like a total knob, saying it's only going to be 4 games, and he believed that shit, and it's all over the internet. And I'm like, are you guys for real? Are you fucking stupid? Like, did you not see what was going on here?
Make this clear. This is not a change. They're not going to start putting exclusives everywhere, just like the internet world wants to tell you, right? Listen to Phil, listen to the team, listen to what they're saying. This is the words that they said. It's not a sign that there's more to come. These are the only 4 games that are coming.
And then we had a back and forth, right?
Apparently, if I could throw it in really quick, apparently they don't even show the Xbox logo in it or anything. And
why would they remove splash screens? Ubisoft has splash screens. EA has a splash screen. Like, why are you desensitizing? That's what's so silly. Like, why
can't I see the Xbox logo on the PlayStation?
Xbox Studios thing?
Why?
Because they're being caught. At least have a spoonful of fucking sugar to make the medicine go down. But this is like giving us vinegar, kicking me in the balls, spitting on me, saying "fuck you, clown," and then I'm going to send it over there. Like.
Hey, Risk It be talking a lot of bullshit, dog. But now I see it just be him hurting. He just be hurting on the inside, man. This Xbox shit got him in his feelings, man. Yo, he just be in his feelings, man. He don't like what's going on. Yo, this shit crazy to me,
I
man.
stand by that this would feel a lot better if Sony had done this.
Yo, why do they look like they should be in Fable? Yo, the whole lineup look like they should all be a part of Fable. Hey, they should have their own special characters. Yo. My lord.
This first. If Sony had raised their prices first, it wouldn't feel so bad. But
to kind of add on to what you're saying, Miranda, like, let's be honest, this generation hasn't gone great for Microsoft. It just hasn't gone their way. Like,
no matter how many times y'all lied for them, no matter how many times y'all lied about PlayStation, no matter what it is that y'all do, they suck so bad that even y'all being complete shields made no difference. The generation went exactly as it was supposed to go.
everybody's buying PS5s. And so for GTA 6...
Yes! Everybody's buying PS5s. GTA 6 is going to be on the Xbox. 100%. They could just keep their Xbox. But they're buying PS5s not just for GTA 6, but because it's getting all of the games. It's getting all of the games. The games.
I think I stand by that this would feel a lot better if Sony had done this first. If Sony had raised their prices first, it wouldn't feel...
I'm sorry, what? Wait, hold on. Let's back that up again. What the fuck did you just say?
First. If Sony had raised their prices first, it wouldn't feel so bad.
Nigga, what? What? What the fuck? What are we talking about here?
A lot better if Sony had done this first. If someone buy that, this would feel a lot better if Sony had done this first.
Year for GTA 6.
I think I stand by that this would feel a lot better if Sony had done this first. If Sony had raised their prices first, it wouldn't feel so bad.
Bruh, do y'all hear this? Are y'all... No. What the fuck does Sony gotta do with Xbox raising their prices? And why in the fuck does it hurt you? Why are you hurt by this situation? Like, what the fuck? What goes on with you Xbox niggas, man? What is wrong with y'all, dog? Like, what is seriously wrong with y'all? Like, she said this shit with the straightest of face. It would have felt better if Sony did it first. Why? So y'all could dogpile Sony? That makes you... Yeah, that's what it sounds like, right, Ghost?
That's what they want,
crazy.
Man.
What's going on, Ghost, man?
What's going on, man? I ain't holler at you in a minute, man. What's happening?
Long time no speak, man. I just been in the background, bro. Man, I had to get back to this madness, man. This shit is crazy.
Yeah. And let's just keep it real. That whole community is discombobulated right now. I mean, they they're punching at walls and screaming at air and grasping at straws, man. And it is what it is, man. I like to troll on Twitter or whatnot. I'm retired. I've got all the time in the world to be as petty as possible. So you know what I mean. But I simply put something out, man, and I gave my honest thoughts about Doom. And I said, Doom it's fun, right? And the haptics are great. I said all the things that I liked about the game, but I said it's mid. You know what I mean? And it's just mid, and it's a mid fun game. And that's
Doom though.
Exactly.
That has always been Doom. If you felt that way about one Doom, you would feel that way about every Doom.
And if you read my comment, that's exactly what I said. It feels the same but different, but it's just fun, but it's just a mid fun game. And people were like,
mindless. It's a mindless shooter, is what it is.
Exactly, right. And so and you could just tell all the Xbox aficionados were in there, and they were, I mean, they came for me. It just never fails. Like they are so hurt. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, man. It's just it's a little disheartening, man, because because I said something earlier, and I asked a genuine question on Twitter this morning. And still people are in their feels, and it is what it is, man. But this you had said earlier, I was listening earlier on my way home. This generation for me has been awesome. I can only speak for myself, as I'm not at your house, you're not at my house. But for me, like I'm genuinely loving the generation. There's plenty of games. There's plenty of third party. There's plenty of VR games. There's plenty of I play the shit out of the Portal. And so for me, for what I expected or what I wanted out of this generation, I'm getting just that. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, no, I mean, I have my gripes, right? So,
right, as we all do.
I would love to see more of an output from Sony's first party, but there has been no shortage of games that has been available. You know what I mean? And that's whether it's a third party deal that they've made with some publisher, whether they've made deals with developers, and them putting out their own first party stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because in the beginning, they started off absolutely killing it, swinging. And it's around year 4, man, it just kind of died down. And they've been shooting for the stars when it comes to this live service stuff, and it's just not turning out the way that they wanted. So
yeah.
But outside of that,
and
it's been great.
Yeah, outside of that, it's been great. And here's the thing: I'm not like some live service, I enjoy them when they're good, right? But I'm not clamoring for a live service game. I'm not, I cannot wait to play the next, I don't have the time that live services demand from you. You know what I'm saying? So, like I told you, I'm hardcore casual, but at the same token, I'm gonna agree with you as far as their first party, output. It needs to be better, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, I think Sony realizes that, and that's why they go all in on some of those exclusivity third party deals and second party deals, and that I'm okay with, then we're now getting Xbox games, and it's even better, right? So,
what do you think about this Bungie madness?
Oh man, I mean, I think there was a reason, and we don't fully know. There was a reason why they decided to be acquired by Sony, and I think that the writing was in the wall from the higher ups, and they aligned themselves with Sony to for some protection, for financial stability. But I think that a lot of this was, the writing was the wall, and they knew that shit was coming down the pipeline. Their mismanagement of financials, of funds, of their games, and then with Marathon. That whole culture within that company is just shady and kind of underhanded, and that type of environment. It's from the top down, and you're seeing that it's evident as their CEO was accused of this or that, and just the whole. As Reforged like to say it, their hubris is what's bringing them down. And so. I can tell you right now that Sony's they're loving every minute of it. It's just more fuel to their fire to completely take them completely over.
Why does everybody think that that's what they're going for? Because you're not the first person to say that, man. Everybody I've talked to is just like, yeah, they want to take over them completely and own them and manage them and etc. And I'm like, okay, if that is the case, let's say they do that. What's going to change? You still have the same crew of people.
Right,
sure, you have different leadership, but same group of people.
And that's where it'll come in. I don't believe it's the devs or the interns or the entry level guys. It's the top. So when you can gut your top level executives and your C-suite executives and put in place your own people, when you can put in place your own methodology and your own your own people and your own way of doing business.
So
See, right now, yes, Sony is slowly, eating up chunks. And I think it was last year when they reported that, like, if you didn't meet certain financial goals, then we start doing this and this and that. And so it's not necessarily that they want to take over, but this is just one more. And here's the thing, Bungie has been known also to, take the bag and run and ditch contract or not, or buy themselves out of contracts. They did it with Microsoft. They did it with 343. You know what I'm saying? And so if Sony takes them all completely over, I mean, they can't run. They're completely, subsidized and owned by Sony in its entirety, right? And so if at some point in time Sony wanted to make Destiny or their next IP solely exclusive, I'm just saying, we're speculating, but let's just say they could. There's no more. Well, we have a contract in place, that we're going to remain multi-plat or we're going to do this, and if Sony owns all of it, they have no say. So I think that, I mean, it's not in the ideal world. It's not what they want to do, but I think it will happen in the next year or two.
Okay, and then what do you see coming from this if that indeed does happen?
Well, you'll see a lot of the higher ups either getting their severance and their walking papers and their pink slips, and then you'll start seeing people put in place. They might have an engine change. They might break them up and put them in different places. There might be intercommunication between different developers and studios. And they won't be their separate entity like as Bungie is right now, because that was one of the main things when they acquired them. They're like, we're going to remain our own separate entity, and I think you'll see more cohesion between Sony and Bungie, and a little bit probably more transparency.
I just don't see, because I'm going to be real with you, Ghost. I don't care for this Bungie acquisition at all. I'm just going to be upfront with you. Never cared about it. Didn't care about it when it first happened. Thought it was the stupidest fucking deal. And I haven't seen a single benefit from this acquisition thus far, up to this point. The only thing that I've heard is that they had a hand in canceling factions, which, you know, you never know how that would have turned out. The other thing is that, I mean, the games that they make, it just don't really seem attractive to me, right? Like Destiny, the first one was cool, but I was playing that because I was playing with the homie, you know what I mean? So it was just like, all right, it was something to do. But now, it really does nothing for me. It does absolutely zero for me. So, you know, I can't think of one positive that came out of this acquisition. If you can, please enlighten me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Destiny 2 player, and I liked that. They've always had a good stream of content, whether good or bad. But I just think that, like, you know, whenever Sony has acquired someone and in complete control, I mean, you know, we'll say Naughty Dog, for instance, like they made Jack and Daxter, they made, you know, some early on games, but when Sony acquired them, their quality of games, the storytelling, they had all those resources available that Sony provided Naughty Dog, the studio. So I think over time, I think you may or may, and I'm being hopefully optimistic, and maybe it's a little bit biased because I am I'm a Destiny fan, but at the same time, I just think that initially maybe the from the outside looking in, you know, we don't see any of the fruits of the labor from that acquisition, right?
Right.
And I think Bungie made it very clear that they wanted their, you know, anonymity, and they wanted to be autonomous, and, you know, outside of Sony. And I just think that a lot of that was due because they were hiding stuff with their financials and their mismanagement of funds and money and overextending themselves, overpromising. So, you know, sometimes companies acquire, you know, things, and we as consumers don't see the fruits of it, but I think you eventually will, especially when it's your job to have output and to perform. So,
right.
Only time will tell. I as a gamer, I don't care one way or the other, as long as there is a Destiny 2 game or as long as there is another game in the pipeline. But I think Sony has the track record of really coaching and bringing, you know, studios along further. So, you know, I think in time that will tell, you know, how well that acquisition is.
Let me get these super chats. Shout out to Anonymous Boss. He said, while we're talking business, bots are wasting time. That's a given, my nigga. That's a given. Shout out to Viper Reaps. He says, Sony is good at recognizing talent and putting them in positions to succeed. They can't do that with the current contract in place.
Yep.
Okay, you know what? I'll take y'all word on it. Maybe it will end up better. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm not opposed to what Bungie does. It's just nothing that they've done thus far up to this point has really struck a chord with me, per se. Hopefully, they do have the caliber of talent that y'all believe that they have. But I think I'm cool on it. What do you think about? And I know I'm rapidly firing these off to you, but just kind of recapping what we went over earlier. What do you think about the Jade Finesse?
Yeah, see, they got him. They got him. But I think also,
well, I that's the joke, right? I don't really believe that she finessed them, right? But I do believe. But I do believe, I don't think she finessed them, but I do believe that she may have walked out, possibly, or decided that, you know, she maybe didn't like the direction, or heck, maybe she was even scared about Concord and, you know, didn't want, you know, Fair Games to end up kind of like that, since it's aiming for, you know, a similar audience.
And I think that is more the realistic, you know what I'm saying, way to see things. You know what I'm saying? I think that, like, maybe Jim Ryan, when he was in there and he made that acquisition, or he greenlit it, and that was the whole live service push. And then you saw, you know, the tremendous, you know, backlash from Concord. You see the the horrendous, you know what I'm saying, alpha test with, or not horrendous, but you see the not as positive alpha test with Marathon. And I think maybe she was just, I think maybe Sony's maybe cutting back on that live service initiative, and they maybe wanted to cut her budget, and she wasn't happy, and that was her baby, and she maybe walked away. I mean, we don't know. We're all speculating, right? She could have finessed him, she could have gotten fired, or she could have gotten let go, or she could have got butt hurt and left. So, but at the same time, it is funny to watch all the
right,
the joke and the meme. So until she comes out publicly,
she more than likely isn't. She more than likely isn't going to come out and speak about it at all to any extent. But I hope Fair Games comes out. I am really interested in Fair Games and really want to see that game come to fruition. It's right up my alley. And I do want to see what they were working on. But there is a great possibility that this just might be another failed attempt at a live service game. I don't want it to be that. But hey, at this point, I don't know what it is that they're looking at, but if they looked at it, didn't like it, and she ended up leaving the company after that point, something was up with it.
Yeah, I think in the next few months, if we see that, you know, Fair Games being canceled, or if that studio is being shut down, then we know what time it is, right?
Yeah.
And obviously Sony put their hand in and was like, yeah, this shit is hot garbage. You know what I mean? And shut this shit down.
But they shouldn't make that determination. That's the reason why alphas and betas and all of this stuff exists. Why not put out an alpha, let people play what it is that you have, and then let's build on what you have, versus putting a whole bunch of money into something that somebody might not like, and then you cutting your losses at that point, right? If you don't have as much invested, then you could play around a little bit. But when you have so much invested and the reception is bad, the most you can do at that point is cut your losses. So why not give the people an opportunity to play and see if they like what is being presented?
You know, and I'll agree with you to a certain extent. I mean, one of the things that we live in an age right now that if you put something out there, right, there's so much, even in the good games, that there is negativity. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And so I think that Sony is more worried about the public perception of it, because that limit plays a role. I mean, public perception and perceived public perception plays a role in stock prices. I mean, and everything. And so, and consumer confidence. So, you know, you can't, you're 3 strikes, you know what I'm saying? That would be your 3rd strike if you do that. And you know, so it's not been shut down yet. We don't know. But if it does, I can tell you the reason is that they just don't want that public perception, especially if they're going to still continue to do at least even a minimal a live service attempt, right? And you just can't keep striking out.
Right.
You know, I talked about that a couple days ago. I said, you know, I think Sony ought to, you know, you say you have this money put back for acquisitions. Maybe you need to buy somebody that's good at live service. You know what I'm saying? And watch how they do it, or a company that has a lot of knowledge. You would have thought it would have been Bungie, right?
To be honest with you, Ghost, I'm gonna tell you something that you may already be aware of, but Sony is always fighting an uphill battle, good, bad, or indifferent. They could have the best in the industry. You're still gonna have people who basically talk the game down with the idea of having it fail. They don't even really care. Most of the people that you see that are up in arms and talking about Marathon and, you know, that artist and how her artwork got stolen and shit like that, they don't even care about the game. They've been said that they don't give a damn about that game. But it's a way to spin negative Sony news.
Yeah, I mean, there's all. You've talked about this on multiple occasions, right? There is just we live in this era of just people hate just to be hating, and now you can be monetized for it. You know what I'm saying? If you start up a little, you know, bullshit ass channel or a podcast and or say some wild shit on Twitter, and you can now make some money off of it. And so that's just what the community has changed. And I said this on P-Rock. I'm gonna get some hate. Okay, I'm gonna get some hate here. Sick. I am all for, and watch this. I'm all for raising the price on games. Price these bums up out of it. You know what I'm saying? Make these games $100, $150. You know what I'm saying? Because here's and I'm being facetious, but gaming was pure when it was not accessible to everyone.
Fact.
Think about that. Think about that, man. Gaming was pure when we was all youngsters and kids growing up, and we were like, damn, motherfuckers was trading games, motherfuckers was stealing games. You didn't give a fuck what it was, right? You wanted to play it. And so you did whatever it took. You mowed 100 lawns. You did whatever it took to get the next game, and you appreciated it. And you didn't bat. Like, here's the thing. I love the Sega, and I love playing Akari Warriors. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sit there and be like, oh, Contra's some bullshit. It sucks. Because I like Akari Warriors. You're like, damn, I want to play Contra too, but I got Akari Warriors. Me and my man can play co-op. Let's go. So gaming was pure. Because I was a brokester. I was a young broke, you know what I'm saying, living in the project, you know what I'm saying? And I'd go over my buddies and play those systems, right? Couldn't afford one, you know what I'm saying? But when gaming was not accessible to everyone, it was at its purest form. Now that everyone can play it, you got just like everyone's got a goddamn voice on Twitter or social media, even people that shouldn't have it. It's the same way, man. You got just a bunch of no-lifers, non-gamers, you know what I'm saying? Attention seeker clout chasers that just chasing the algorithm, man. And gaming is just not pure because you got $2.99 systems, you got handhelds, you got I guess Fire Sticks now. Holy shit! Think about it, man. I'm gonna get some hate, but gaming was its purest form when it wasn't accessible to everyone.
To be honest with you, I don't think you got any hate on that because I think the people agree. And Granddaddy Perk, yes sir. I've been thought that they've been trying to keep Sony in a particular position because they don't want to make Microsoft obsolete, even though they're doing a good job of doing that shit themselves.
Yeah, masters of
here's what you'll
self-deletion.
find, right? The same shit that Microsoft makes, if Sony makes it, the same people who buying it on PlayStation for Microsoft wouldn't buy it if it was a PlayStation game.
Mm-hmm.
Even if nothing changes, same exact game, totally different results.
Yep. And Seki, you've said it many times. Like for all the people, gaming has always been an expensive hobby. You know what I'm saying? And now that it's more accessible to everyone, and that's the reason why you just have a bunch of non-gaming hate game. Like you play. I remember I watched you play Dusk Till or Dusk something. It was just the slowest game ever. I fell asleep 37 times during your damn stream. You know what I'm saying? But the simple fact is, like, we, as casual as I am, I play just about everything. I buy just about everything because I'm a gamer at heart. You know what I'm saying? Many of the people in the damn chat, they buy these games, they play these games, and true gamers. If a game's some bullshit, you call it out. But some things you don't hate on it. You don't hate on because it's just craziness to me.
At this point, people are just hating on stuff that they don't even care about, that they were never intending to play at all at any point in life. Never had any intention, but hate. Let's do it. Shout out to Viper Rich Corner. He said, "I won't be pre-ordering everything, but at least these bums will stop fucking up my hobby." I don't think that they'll stop fucking up your hobby though, dog.
No, they'll still try.
They won't buy the games, just like they're not buying them now.
Yeah. but they'll still they'll get in the comment section though. They'll go review bomb it. Non-game playing fucking bums.
Did you
Straight up, man. This shit makes me angry.
What did you think about Call of Duty the Warzone getting axed for mobile?
All right, I'm just gonna say this. We talk about fleecing. We talk about motherfucking scammer Bobby Kotick. Well, I'm telling you, he made out like a goddamn bandit. Holy fuck!
Ask yourself this. Ask yourself this. Do you think that it's funny that ruling comes right after the FTC pretty much dropped whatever their shit was against Microsoft and ABK? Or do you think that's just a major coincidence?
No, I mean it's. I don't want to get on that. I won't go down that rabbit hole because it's a little bit deeper than just that. I mean, we got a whole regime change and administration change. You know what I'm saying? And it's open season right now for any crooked ass backward money making lobbyist group right now. Like, Jesus Christ, it's wide open. Me and you'll talk another time because I'll tell you some story. It's wide open. Some of the shit I'm able to buy right now. I'm just gonna say
everything's for sale.
Everything is for sale. So they're gonna get all the consumer protection motherfuckers up out of this administration. They're gonna get all the appointed. I mean, they're locking up judges. They're getting the credit card fraud motherfuckers out of there. It's wild times right now, man. It's wild times. So that's my point. Is I think the timing is just very coinky dink. You know what I mean? And then it is what it is. I mean, and it's the world that we live in, the administration that we're in right now. And so anybody that has any common sense or decency or morality is up out of here.
Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. But I mean, again, like I said, I don't think that's gonna bode well for Microsoft in the way that people would imagine or think, because I don't think the rest of the world is gonna allow Microsoft to buy up anything.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's wild times right now. Yeah, I mean, we about to find out, right? But some things but going back to like the Call of Duty Warzone, I mean, Microsoft is I gotta say this without sounding console worry. Microsoft is in trouble. Xbox, and what I mean by that is, okay, so let me explain how kind of works. So at some point in time, Phil Spencer went to Satya, right, and in front of the board, and he asked hey, I need $80 billion or however much Activision cost. Okay, and the board asked they had one of two questions along with Satya, like, okay, for what, and what does our return look like? Okay, so when people think that they borrow or they used $80 billion, which they did, and yes, every company wants that the return of investment, the $80 billion back.
Right.
But shareholders and board members want more than that. Okay, and so that $80 billion now turns into, they may want $150 billion, or $150 billion, $160 billion. People just don't. You don't go to no bank and be like, hey, let me borrow $10,000 and I'll pay you just $10,000 back. It's not how that works, right? And so they bit off a whole lot more than they could chew, and the Xbox guys, and they did not get the gravitational pull that they thought they were going to get from everyone leaving or abandoning PlayStation, PC, whatever the case may be, to go to Game Pass.
Right.
So, and I think their analytics, and I think they knew that before they borrowed the money. And so the plan was always, if we're going to borrow this money, we're going to put games everywhere. So this wasn't a brand new idea. They faked the funk in the FTC files. They knew it from the beginning that they were going to always put games on different platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are not seeing the return as quickly as they would like, as like the shareholders would like, as board members would like, those C-suite executives. First of all, Zick, you watch a lot of news. This chat does too. When have you seen the CEO of a company represent a division that he's not even over? Meaning, why the fuck you got Satya over there talking about Xbox? Ask yourself that.
I have no answers.
Okay, I was a CFO at my company, right? And during the whole scandal, especially when you know, Blackwater was in all this shit for some of the bullshit that we were doing overseas.
Mm-hmm.
They sent all type of PR people. They sent all type of damage control. You damn sure didn't have the CEO, and you damn sure didn't have me, and you damn sure didn't have, you know what I'm saying, my predecessors and some of my, you know, my coworkers up on TV. And so this whole narrative, like, when you put the face of it, because they were trying to, they were appealing to the court of public opinion. They borrowed a lot of money, and I get it. Microsoft's a $3 trillion company. It is what it is, but they keep about a war chest of about $70 to $90 billion in cash. Okay.
Yeah,
and you mean to tell me this man
goes having that type of money, spending that type of money on a device that is already not like very popular with the industry that you're in, right? Who would do that and then make some shit exclusive? Because that's the question that bots are asking. Like, why is this happening? Why is this the way it is when you're the richest company in the world and shit like that? It's happening because they want to make their money back, as you stated. They want to have a return on their investment, and they can't do that if they're hoping and praying that people will move from one box to the next.
Right.
Because it's not happening. They put out, they did a test. If you look at when Starfield released, and there was some other game, I forgot what Hellblade, nobody moved over to Xbox to go get those games. They saw this and they were like, nah, if the games that had all the hype, all the steam behind them couldn't give us no traction, then we're not gonna do this. Me personally, I still think they're paying off of that ZeniMax shit. I mean, y'all talking about ABK, but I don't think they've satisfied that debt yet. And what I mean is satisfied that debt with Microsoft from Xbox.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you right now, like, we are witnessing in real time a slow train wreck. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about 40 times slow, because and let me ask you this: do you think they're gonna make another Xbox console?
If I'm to go by what that job listing said, then I would say it's not going to be a console, but it's going to be another device. And it's going to be a Snapdragon device.
In some shape or form, it'll be some device. But
it'll be some device.
I do not think there will be another console. I just don't. And I believe that because, like, it makes no sense if you are trying to cut costs by whether laying people off, turning off, mobile services, which mobile is, I don't know, we don't know the money that mobile made, but if you have a popular mobile app, you're printing money.
Right.
Like, the overhead is ridiculously, you know what I'm saying? Ridiculously low. I mean, it's not keeping a Halo server or a Call of Duty server up. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. You know what I mean? So they are slashing costs everywhere, and while at the same time putting games everywhere. And that just tells me, like, you are wanting or needing like a quick injection of cash, and you need a lot of it. And I think that's part of the reason why, especially this year, their output has been, let's keep it real, man, their output's been phenomenal.
And output in what regard?
As far as games.
Are we?
We're not talking about quality.
Are we talking? Are we considering Doom to be one of those games?
It however you want to argue it semantically, that is an Xbox game, right? Principle is they own Bethesda.
I mean, they own Bethesda, but are we really or are we talking about the remakes?
We're talking about all aspects, whether it be Avowed, whether it be Indiana Jones.
When did Avowed come out? I don't remember when that shit came out.
Beginning of this year.
Did it? Huh. Okay.
You know what I mean?
And then Indiana
South
Jones,
of Midnight.
Well, I mean, they should have a strong output. They got a whole bunch of studios.
Oh, my point exactly. Their output this year has been phenomenal. I'm not talking about quality. I mean,
well, I don't know. I haven't played Indiana Jones because so I don't know what to expect from that game.
I haven't either.
Yeah. But
then you release some of their IPs and some of the remasters that are already, you know what I'm saying, bought and paid for, and you know what I'm saying, with Forza and with Elder Scrolls, you know what I'm saying, and they're having success just because, hey, you know, the novelty of playing Xbox games, and they put out Forza, which is arguably one of their best looking games and best playing games, right? So, and you're going to see, I think you're going to see this continuous output, and it'll be a mix of new games and remasters of you know, Gears of War, you know, so Halo will hit next. As you said, it'll be a meltdown on Twitter. It'll be nuclear.
I only care about that just to see how they react. That's it. That's it. Nothing further. It's only about the fuckery for me for that. I mean, I truly don't have a dog in a fight when it comes to that shit, for real.
It'll just be hilarious.
Yeah, just to see their reaction. That's it. That's all I care about is the reaction. Whew. But I've been here for a minute, so I'm finna get the hell up out of here.
Yeah.
Shit, we going on 4 hours now.
You going on 4 hours?
Yeah, I'm going on 4 hours and 9 minutes, man. All right, I appreciate everybody for stopping by, man. I appreciate y'all coming through and hanging out, and we got to do this again real soon, probably tomorrow, to be honest with you, because I got some more stuff to talk about. I just didn't want to bring up everything today. I wanted to keep the stream a little bit streamlined, so we can talk about the actual topics in order. Appreciate you stopping through, Ghost. Appreciate you, Corey. Appreciate you, Jemiah. Y'all have a good day and a great night.